So, it will just be us tonight, gentlemen. Max will not be showing up, and Atin will not be showing up. Because they have to fillet each other. Shit.
Oof. Is that an annual thing?
Yeah, it's an annual thing.
Atin won't be here because family stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently relating to lights.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So yeah, a fun little story for us all tonight. So, my computer died while I was at lunch. And my work computer, to be specific here. It just died. It got blue screen. I was looking at it. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Well, I'll let the blue screen log dump, and then I'll take a look at it when I can get back from lunch. And then the computer wouldn't post.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, computer wouldn't even post. And I was like, damn. That's rough. So I unplugged everything from the computer, turned it on, still wouldn't post. Shit. Fuck. So I
computer, Sneaky.
No, I didn't do nothing, Mix. So there I was, in the Google chat with my team, and I was like, "Hey, team, I'm not gonna be able to come back from lunch because my computer blue screened, and it's not booting anymore." And they're like, "Damn, that's crazy." I was like, "Damn, yeah." And so I tried a couple different things, you know. I was keeping everyone updated for a while. I was like, hey, I finally got it to post, and it got the BIOS, and I did a hardware diagnostic on everything, and it all came back clean. Of course it did.
Ah, yes, of course.
Obviously.
That's how it always goes.
The computer won't work. All right, well, let's go look at the hardware. Everything's working. All right, well, why the fuck is it not working then? But yeah.
No, Sneaky, the favorite one is like, I have enough spare parts, I can test every component. Every component works. What the
Why
fuck?
you know turn on?
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. So I reboot the computer because I'm like, all right, well, I guess whatever the issue was, it's working now. So I boot the computer and it doesn't post anymore. I'm like, oh great, so we're back to square one. Fantastic. And I tried a couple more times and I couldn't get it to go to BIOS anymore either. So I was like, well, damn. That's rough. And so I just told everyone that in the group chat. Then I went to play games for a couple hours. Talked with Moth about Stalker 2 stuff. You know, good times.
That's
And
nice.
then I get a text message from my boss right as the day closed. Right, so I've been gone for 5 hours now. Right.
Mhm.
Hey, I sent you a task. And I'm like,
Boss, did you not check the group chat?
I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, wait. You sent me a task. You thought I was here the whole time? I thought I was gonna have to use PTO on this. By my boss, cause he can't fucking read apparently. Just assumed I had fixed the issue and I've been working the whole time.
You know, to be fair, when you make yourself seem like the most competent person on the team you're assigned to, they just assume things.
Well, I mean, it's also the
You know?
fact that it's also the fact that I'm not like a super chatterbox in the group chat, and So like me not saying anything the entire day is totally normal. And like me not contacting him about anything is totally normal. It's well, and this happened on Monday. On Monday, I was after lunch. I was like, "Damn, I'm tired," and I just went to bed. I just didn't say anything in the group chat. Just went to bed, and no one noticed. But yeah, then now it's just I openly said my computer was busted. Nobody could tell the difference between me not doing any work
And
and me doing work.
yeah, that's. I don't know if that's insulting or gratifying.
Either way, I'll take it. I didn't have to use 5 hours of my precious PTO, so
Does your PTO roll over?
I don't know.
You should probably check into that because if it doesn't roll over, it doesn't matter anyways because you still lose it. But my
If it doesn't
company,
roll over, that would
my
suck.
my my company, despite insisting that they care about their employees and they're family oriented, PTO doesn't roll over, and we only got up to 3 days paid if we didn't use it by the end of the year. So
Yeah, I
let's
should
say
look
you
into
went
that.
let's say you went the entire year and only used 3 days of PTO, so you still got uh 12.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, you're fucked out of that PTO. Which, by the way, if you're gonna run a business and say you care about your employees and family first, let PTO days roll over up to a certain amount per year. Like, holy shit, it's not hard. It's really not.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to ask that question on Monday. Because if so, if that's the case, then I'm suddenly gonna become sick for the rest of the year, and I'll just be so cripplingly sick. I just won't be able to show up.
I mean, if you got a copy of your employee handbook stored stashed somewhere in your
You
any
d-
device,
yeah, I
it'll be in
do,
there
Max.
somewhere too.
You want to know where my employee handbook is stored?
Don't get mad at me. That's the one thing from work I kept on multiple devices just in case.
Well, I'm sorry, Max, but I don't exactly expect my computer to fucking nuke itself.
Shit happens.
That's how I know you're fake IT now. Expect everything to nuke itself at any given point in the day. Come on now.
No, hold on. I have a backup going every single night in an iterative format for my documents, my downloads, my app data. The most critical, important parts of my computer. Everything else doesn't matter.
I like that your free time doesn't matter to you.
What do you mean?
Employee handbook is something you should always have multiple devices just in case, because like you might have a random thought that, oh, maybe there's something in the handbook that'll get me out of this
See, I'm
bullshit
always
problem.
just assuming that I'm in violation of the handbook at all times.
I mean, you should assume that too, but you keep it to see if someone else is in violation.
That's fair.
Or again, if you're like, I don't remember if my PTO rolls over or not, so I should double check that. Also, when you're going for a new job, ladies and gents, always remember, check the PTO policy. You don't have to ask management about it. Just check it. That makes me wonder now, how much PTO have you lost since working for this company if they don't do rollovers?
I mean, if they don't do rollovers, it is what it is.
Well, yes, it's what's done is done. I would just be curious about the number.
That's fair. That's fair. But in other news, so YouTube has rolled out another patch on
course.
its adware war, and it was immediately defeated by unchecking a single option in uBlock.
In uBlock, not in
Yeah,
other things where they weren't
I was
affected at all.
Yeah,
I was
everything else
about
wasn't
to
affected at all.
say,
uBlock was able to easily defeat it by simply unchecking the quick fixes tab.
yeah. I was about to say, like, how long did this last? 30 minutes? An
It
hour?
it lasted about all of 5 seconds because someone just unchecked quick fixes and then was like, "Oh, hey guys, it works if you just turn quick fixes off."
Good news, guys.
That's
They
fucking
fucked up
magical.
again.
That is impressive.
Honestly, I still love that they refuse to just admit that listen to customer feedback on how advertisements should be run and also vet the ads in some way to
Yeah.
make sure they're not injecting malicious horseshit. Like, I don't know, the crypto network that cropped up for 2 months because
It's
of
crazy.
Google Ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't do that. That would require work.
I mean,
You'll accept the ads.
honestly, they're fucking lucky that no one had enough money to take them to court over that. That was malicious
Yeah, that needs to
hijacking of
happen.
machines that they allowed through their platform.
Yep. But nobody takes responsibility for the ads they want you to see, and none of them acknowledge that viruses come from ads. They don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. I've been blocking ads since about 2004, and I haven't had a virus on my computer since about 2004. It's crazy.
Yep.
Can't imagine how that correlates at all.
There's definitely
But
no correlation there. What are you
yeah,
talking about?
no correlation
There's
there at all.
correlation causation.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I really can't think of anything else, gentlemen. I'm gonna be honest with you here. I cannot think of anything else. So, uh, let's get started.
Wow, a short, sneaky story time. That hasn't happened in a while.
I mean, we gotta last 15 minutes.
It
Is
happened.
today's show gonna be particularly fucked up? We can
Maybe.
only hope it.
We can make it.
we
can make it
can only
hard.
hope so.
We can make it so. Will we?
Let's not. Let's not.
No,
Just say we
no.
did.
Let's fuck it up. Let's
Yeah.
go ride or die.
So I was gonna say, if we wanted to, Alvor, just have some alcohol and come on stream for us.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Let's see here. We got.
I'm pretty sure there was an explicit, like, there was an explicit forbidden
Damn.
order from me and Atten that he is not to show up drunk ever again.
Yeah, he got a
There's
little bit too spicy.
The one time he did,
Yeah.
He dropped the
didn't
N-word
keep
within
it- he-
25
he
minutes,
didn't-
I think.
he
Yeah.
didn't keep his mouth shut when he should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's for the best he doesn't show up drunk, period.
And now if Sneaky wants to give his secret podcast a second go, he's more than welcome to have Drunk Alvor on there.
What the fuck? What the absolute fuck is this?
What have you found, Sneaky?
I'm posting it.
You're posting it.
Oh, that
That. Don't like that.
Okay, where has he posted this? The SDM?
memes and shit per. No, that was earlier.
Okay, he's clearly posted this on a different server.
I'm just no, sorry. Let me post it now.
So
He was reading through it.
I have no
He was-
fucking what
What is this?
I don't
Oh,
know.
Netflix.
It's Netflix, so
Oh, this is the one with the fucking black crippled King of England, right?
no. No, not that one.
No.
My
We're
favorite
starting off strong.
My favorite part is there's a moment in this trailer that, because this is based off of a thing that's real, where they had a bunch of women delivering mail, right? During World War II. It's based off of a thing that's real. They have a scene where a black woman is like, "Oh, you want to send the women's battalion? Don't you mean the white women's battalion?" And then they pan to the white women's battalion in the next scene, and it's very diverse.
Mm.
In fact, it's so diverse, I don't think I could find any white women in it.
Hmm.
You see him later.
Yeah.
Apparently, you see like 3 later.
Yeah, it's like, guys, you're kind of undermining yourself with this one
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
I swear to fucking God, I look over at the worm section. There it is, Brockton Celestial Forge. Why are you still going? 2.4 million words. Why?
Because that's what the celestial anything does.
Yep.
I know. But you should have
I'm
won by now. Like, that's what the whole
problem
point of
is-
Celestial shit is you win
The
quickly.
problem is he's too busy writing more filler to get more shit that he's never going to use to finish the story.
Yeah, he has to be ready for when Mecha Lung, the God King of the Sun, shows up.
No, he turns into he turns into a crossover. All of a sudden, his ultimate enemy, Taylor Vargo, shows up. And then just for shits and giggles, there's a hero protagonist as well.
No, of course, obviously, one you have to do that. Clearly. Well, it's just that's a fucking picture. AI art has been a thing.
Yep.
Wait, what? Where's this picture?
It's thankfully being censored by my chat box.
Taylor's Dungeon. Let's check it.
Yeah, I'll link it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know, looking at the trailer, I wasn't expecting to see Tyler Perry's name on that
Ah.
trailer you linked, Sneaky.
Yeah.
I would laugh my
Hmm.
ass off if this ends up being one of his like darker comedies and
Yeah.
Netflix doesn't know what he's actually made. All they got was this trailer he sent them.
That would be funny as hell.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that AI pic before.
Wouldn't be surprised if you had. But yeah, Taylor's Dungeon. After the locker incident, Taylor found herself going on a journey of healing. Emma, don't eat that. You don't know where it came from. 45 favorites already with only 3 chapters and in 8,000 words. Like, that's fucking... Damn!
Interesting. I'm more interested in 13 reviews.
Thank you for the chapter. 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 This is a different story. I really want to see Taylor slaughter everyone.
Dick joke.
Dick joke.
Mm.
Thank you for the chapter. 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 Cool.
Can they say anything else? Who
No.
knows?
Look, the fact that they're that literate that they're able to speak at least 4 words is honestly impressive.
True.
Is
Are you
this
sure they're
very
not just
first
copy
review
pasting from
asking
each
about a
other?
different fucking story, or what? Or did after one chapter of a couple thousand words, did they write that whole fucking review of how this changed their fucking life?
That's just a copy paste. It's an AI bot. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it came off from a fucking regular. Our AI bot joined December 6th. That's it.
Yeah.
Fair. Bot with
Yeah.
Discord link.
The drive back home was a quiet affair for the two Heberts. Both are disappointed for different reasons, such as where they came from. Okay. It has been a few days since Taylor woke up from her coma due to locker incident. Okay, so here's the problem, right? Taylor didn't go into a coma because of the locker incident. Taylor went into a coma because she instantly gained control of every insect within a city block of her. In a city. She instantly gained about 13,000 perspectives.
Probably more, to be honest, in a city block.
Possibly more. But I believe that was the number that Wildbow gave, so, classic Wildbow moment of massively understating.
Of course.
But she gained 13,000 perspectives in a second. Her brain was not ready for it. Taylor, according to the Word of God, second triggered with multitasking. Specifically, so she could actually manage all 13,000 perspectives.
That's actually something that I do like about it, because literally there's no other way you'd fucking be able to wield that power without just being in a coma.
Yeah. So, her coma was not caused by the locker. Her coma was caused by the power she got from the locker. So, if Taylor gets the power to summon dungeons, she's not in a coma. And like, this sort of thing, right? Technically speaking, yes, you can have Taylor be in a coma because author fiat, I said so. Why? If she was in a genuine coma, the hospital wouldn't kick her out after a day. Like, people who go into comas, the hospitals like to obviously squeeze money out of you, but B, they like to keep you under observation for at least the week because you just were in a fucking coma, and they need to make sure your body is actually going to be able to operate. So,
why would it need to do that?
Yeah. Well, they don't need to do that. Maybe they do under the socialized medicine of Australia. But
no, I was asking, why does the body need to actually work?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, just fill it with alcohol.
Yeah, that and the SDM has taught me that bodies don't need to work to exist.
Exactly. Yes. It's an incident that the young Hebert doesn't want to remember, yet it haunts her nightmares. That does not make sense. If she doesn't want to remember the incident,
He'd repress
that
it.
has no relation to it haunting her nightmares. And normally, this wouldn't be an issue. The author, however, phrased it in a specific way, saying that because she didn't want to remember, it haunted her nightmare.
Of course.
If you're trying to say she didn't remember the incident, yet it haunted her in her nightmares, that makes sense. Because you don't typically remember your nightmares, but you do, wake up in a cold sweat from them. So if it's something you don't remember, but it is what appears in your nightmares every single night you go to sleep and it's haunting you, that's totally reasonable. You remembering it, yet it's still somehow being a nightmare for you, makes no sense. That's like that's like writing a sentence of he took a glass of water and tilted it into his throat, yet somehow the water poured into his mouth. Yeah, yeah, obviously. Duh. No shit. Anyway, oh Jesus Christ, what the fuck did you just post? Why have side courses when you can have the main one? We were talking
Wilder.
last time about the cost of replacing stuff with cheap shit versus buying a good pair, and that actually came up in Wildbow's story. Context for the scene. Winfred, the diaper girl, of course, is part of the 29 families, which are a group in the fringes who are into heavy body modification, to look like anthropomorphic metal rats. Right. Some people who left the families had mysterious accidents done by equipment with low failure rate. Right before the conversation, Winnie and cousins and uncles were all doing a job where they repair a ship in space. The uncles want to do the bare minimum since the pay isn't good, but Winnie goes above and beyond, doing some stuff that wasn't covered. She wants to save up to buy a ship and fly it across the solar system, and has been saving up and skimping out on repairs. Wait. Skimping out on repairs to herself. Okay. Onto her mechanical parts. Got it, you got it, yeah. That's incredibly stupid. I feel
Yes.
like that's like what a stupid person does. Like if you had to repay a repair cost for your heart and you're like, "Well, I don't need to repair my heart today because I want to buy a spaceship in the future." Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's all right. So, during the job, one of her uncles wanted her to help him move heavy parts, and she couldn't because her strength was failing due to skimping on repairs, and she gets tired. When the guy who owned the ship came, she charmed him with her naive childishness, desire to be a captain, and he included a cockpit retrofit as a bonus for the job. And this is the conversation after the job. Toby is her AI. Okay. Let's see. Get lost. Find out joke about. They listen. They all kept off. You like ships. Yeah. Checks out. Look through your logs. Want one? Yeah. Expensive. Yeah. You'll have to spend a lot soon. Struggling with the hauling. You're still wearing parts that are meant to be traded out. You're overdue. Yeah, I am. 2 more of those trade outs, and then you're buying the body you want to wear for the next 7 years. Yeah. I was thinking I could just not do that though. If I wait another year and a half, I could only do with one body between now and when I'm fully grown, buying something more long term. And until then, you're slower, weaker, and breaking down more. I'm okay with that, but you'll struggle with work. You won't be able to hold up the panels like we were trying to do when we were doing the repairs. Okay, so the uncle is coming off as very reasonable, as I know you want to buy a ship, but if you don't repair your body, you will be doing work slower, and you won't be doing as much of it, and you'll be a burden on everyone around you. Let's see what
Yeah.
her response is.
Male patriarchy.
If the wear and tear gets bad enough, you might struggle to hold up like the panels like that we were etching. Yeah. Wow, this is a fucking riveting conversation. Jesus Christ, Wildbow. You won't
Average
get much
Wildbow.
work. I won't work with you if you do not repair your body. If you're not up to the task and you're falling apart on me because you want to save money, I won't bring you with me. The work we do is hard. The bodies are meant to be lithe, light, and efficient, work in tight spaces with limited tools, and when the work breaks them down, they're meant to be replaced. I'm good at engineering. I can fix myself. I hear you. But, okay, he's not getting through to her. Look at the
No.
captain. She cringed at the memory of that man and the encounter for years, she would guess. That's a really awkward sentence. Uncle Ellis went on. Look at his ship. I bet he told himself he could stretch things out. He'd do the work himself. Less crew, more time between official maintenance and replacement. And what happened? Flooded the sealant, pissed off the crew, broke down multiple months, lost work back and forth, and that keeps rolling forward, impacting the work he can take in the future. People don't want to hire an unreliable tug. The AI then chimes in. That is a pretty good analogy, Winfred. The narrative. It was a pretty good analogy. But wait! Winfred leaned her head on her uncle's shoulder. Her uncle continued. They hire crews of rats because we're cheaper than everyone else. Machines have a middleman and a cleaning job and factors in the prices. We're our own middleman and we're seen as reliable, so long as we aren't seen breaking down. Yeah. Jeez, this is just riveting dialogue, let me tell you. Have your onboard run simulations. Onboard is AI. Look at the other family members that stretched it out. Not just at our doc. I bet you'll see numbers saying the same thing I'm telling you. Saying that the work you lose by being a skimp, the costs of repairing things late, you don't end up saving anything. You're just miserable for longer. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No, maybe. That's how
The
it is.
uncle! Here, let me give you a list of 99 reasons you're stupid. Yeah, maybe. Jesus fucking Christ. The AI. Do you want me to run the simulation? Yes. Okay. I'll get back to you about that. I can't pull the records until we're planetside. So you want to own a ship. What about servicing the ship? We need to service the ship? Often? No. But when we need to service the ship, we need to service it fast. So say your ship stops working right, or your fidelity drops. Both of those things have happened to me. Check right now. What's your
Mm.
Well,
It sounds like Discord silenced him.
Yep.
Thankfully.
No, he's still green. He just died.
He's always green.
Yes, he's still green, so his mic is still
And
working.
he's not coming through as for stream.
All right.
Jacob.
Yep.
There we go.
There we
You
go.
live.
Yeah. No, my headset died. I just had to plug it in.
nice.
Yeah.
Always love when that happens, right?
Yeah. It's good shit. Good shit. It's really awkward because it's a really short cable, but I don't have a longer one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I've got good news.
What's that?
10-foot cords are pretty affordable these days.
Yeah, they could be. Except for the part where the part where I have to plug it into the headset is awkwardly shaped, and so a lot of the 10-foot cords don't have the thin UBC cover that will fit inside the port there. Yeah. Anyway. Where were we? So anyway, yeah, this character who wants to buy a ship really badly apparently has done absolutely no research into what happens after she buys the ship, despite working on ship repairs.
Mm.
Like, that's like a mechanic for a car wanting to buy a car, but then never actually paying attention at his job about the things that cars need to fix often. What? I need to oil my car?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to repair that? Often?
Said the mechanic who only changes car oil at his
Yeah, says the mechanic who only changes car oil. What do you mean I have to re-oil my car often?
Man, why do people
Oh.
keep spending money on this oil? It's just wasteful. His
It's only
engine
my...
seizes.
I can stretch this oil for like another 3,000 miles. Oh god. Imagine you're 16 days out from the nearest stop with coverage because you didn't want to replace a part. He used his own AI to bring up a coverage map based on Winifred's parts. I could go with parts that have wider coverage or parts that can do self-maintenance. You could try. You can make sure you test run those parts, however, before you pay for them. What he said sounded ominous. If you like ships, okay, be realistic. Have a plan. It sounds like you enjoy taking shortcuts. I don't enjoy taking shortcuts. Then when you have a ship, are you going to hire the family? I could do that. We would run it by the 29 heads of the 29 families and give you permission to put out a call. I'm betting there's enough people out there who are like you with dreams bigger than the family trade who can help crew your starter ship. But then you need to learn to deal with people like your cousins. You need to learn how to handle jokes. You need to learn how to assert yourself. Yeah. I'm fucking dying here.
This character only uses one word, except every sentence that's within 8 sentences.
Any crew that ain't one of us, that'll be harder in different ways, you know. The types of people who work off planet are rougher, like that captain. No nonsense. No room for ambiguity. Ambiguity. There we go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god. Is there anything other that you say than yeah?
No.
She said maybe.
They hate us, you know. They look down on us. Enough of them pay us and we get by with that, but others won't hire us even if it makes sense. They won't look up to you as a captain no matter how good you are. Humans naturally settle into a monoculture, and anyone outside of that monoculture with older ideas about marriage or raising kids, they don't like it. Can we not talk about this anymore? Yeah. But you know that doesn't stop reality from being true, right? Yeah. Just putting it out there, telling you. Some of the families, you marry the right person, that's an influx of cash. You don't have to be a romantic partnership. You could even come to me or my sister. We would arrange something. Some schmuck from one of the 9 worlds marries you. You give him a kid, help represent him for the occasional event, stand by his side. It's money that you couldn't get you on your own way. He'd probably want some controlling interest or something with the ship, of course. I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in that. I want it to be all mine. All right, fair. But thank you for the suggestion, even if she didn't mean it. If you can get to the 90% mark saving up for your ship, come to me. I'll cover the last 10% if you promise to hire people within the crew, within the family. Okay, thank you. Your parents might chip in. No, I don't think so. Yeah. Well, I'll see you around if I want more advice or a reality check. She wasn't up to talking much. Yeah, you don't say. I hear Gray talk more than this fucking character. Jesus Christ.
And I barely fucking talk.
It's not so bad, you know. What we do, the work, there's 109 billion people across all 9 worlds. I'd say 105 billion of them, they stopped caring about work. They stopped caring about where they came from. They stopped caring about their future. They all live in the moment. Brain dead. Only interested in the next big thing, the next media. Rest of them, they got their own passions. Sometimes revenge, sometimes something weird, sometimes, hey, they want to work like we do and they're off planet, maybe. She was already so done with this conversation, and it wasn't the first time she heard this sort of thing from him. If she just pushed him away or tried to make him stop, she would lose his goodwill, and she would pay for it. The family, there's less than 1 million of us. People who don't work at the docks don't even know who we are. We have a culture. The rest of the worlds don't. We have fidelity. Okay, yeah, they're basically 29 mob families. Yeah, very cool. So 29 mob families who like to be mechanical furries.
Ugh.
I mean, it's just like okay, look, I'm gonna be honest, it really doesn't make sense, right? If machines do the same or better work, like, see, this is where it gets really weird, right? He claims that machines do the same level of work for 30% more, right? It costs 30% more to hire a machine than it does for the suit rats, right? Or whatever the fuck they're called, the vent rats or whatever the fuck they're called, right? Okay, fine. I guess it's because machines can do the same job every single time or something. I don't know how you swing that. I'm just really baffled that there is a industry out there where machines have replaced humans, but humans are still the cheaper labor.
Mm.
And not only are humans the cheaper labor, they are supposedly a parody to the labor done. Which I feel like is not even slightly true. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more mobby shit going on there for that to be true. Like, oh, if you park at the wrong dock and you don't hire us, your ship might just be damaged by those machines. That sort of thing.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like I don't know, and then it's like yeah. But at the same time, it's also like the uncle is being very reasonable and is, without saying it, trying to heavily hint at the child that she should really, really, really consider.
Her body repairs over her ship.
Well, not just that. That's the being sensible part. But he's heavily hinting that she should only buy parts within family coverage.
Mm.
And he's heavily hinting that she should only hire family, and that if she buys this ship, the family won't like her going off and doing non-family things. But if she hires only family for it, it might be a situation where the family looks at it and goes, we have a lot of people who want to do this sort of thing but are too afraid to. But if we put them all on one ship, maybe we might be able to, swing some benefits our way and take care of a bunch of disgruntled people at the same time.
Mm.
And so it's like a double win situation for the family, and it's a win situation for all the people who aren't happy with their lot in life. So it overall, it's a win situation. And the uncle is clearly trying to do what he can without blatantly outright stating that if she doesn't hire family members, her ship might mysteriously blow up in space. And that if she tries to skimp on these parts, she might be silenced, because if she shows up to a job not being able to do the job properly, and then because of that ends up giving the family a bad image, because the only reason why people even hire them is because they're known to be reliable despite not being machines.
Mm.
And so if she shows up and is like the unreliable one, then people might start to not purchase their services, which would get her killed. So I understand the situation the uncle is in here, and he's doing a fairly decent job of laying out all the reasons why this child is wrong. Unfortunately, it is a child, and both therefore functionally retarded
Mm-hmm.
and actually
and full of
retarded
it, and full of themselves.
and full of themselves. Yeah. But yeah, so she's also already basically tuned him out. He says some more words that are sensible. She replies yeah to them all. Her share negotiated a cockpit fixing, raising 200. Her dad got some of that because he'd done the work. 500, thank you. He left. Out of the corner of her vision, Toby came over. Oh, Captain, I admire you sitting in your own piss and shit for 60 hours. Please fuck me, the cousins joked. Others laughed. She ignored them. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you want to be a ship captain, and I don't mean spaceship, I'm just talking about ship in general. I am talking about an environment where you are on a transportation machine for a very long period of time with a select number of people that will not be changed out when you dislike them.
Mm.
If you don't learn how to take a joke, someone's gonna die. And
Yeah.
it's probably going to be you.
Get pushed out in airlock, loser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the captain was doing a repair on the fuel pipe, and it popped on her and just burnt her face right off, and we kind of just gave her an airlock salute. And then, yeah, she said she wanted us to keep the ship in the family, though. Like, yeah, it's I'm sorry, but just like you gotta be is completely incapable of even base sociality, and you want to go purchase a spaceship that requires a crew. You're stupid. You're
Yes.
stupid. You're like an extra helping of
Unfortunately-
stupid.
Unfortunately, Sneaky, it's worse. They're a wild boat protagonist.
I know.
True.
But yeah, that's an extra like helping of stupid if you want to go buy something that requires you to travel long distances in an enclosed space with people that you have to get along with or else.
Hmm.
And then you're not able to get along with people because you're a complete social retard who refuses to even try and learn, despite knowing the fact that you are trying. Like, this isn't like a surprise thing, like, surprise, you're the captain of a ship now, you have to get used to people. It's like, no, your dream is to buy a ship that requires you to travel long distances with an enclosed space of select people that can't leave. And you know this because that's the reason you want to purchase a ship, because you want to do that. And for some reason, you sit there and you're like, I don't need to know how to get along with people. I know I need to hire a crew, but they'll just they'll just exist. Oh god. Oh, yeah, I know about that one. We covered that when we initially covered the story. Apparently, yeah, every single person hooked into the HiveMind network can just at any time queue up the cameras of every other person in the network.
Nope.
And like you don't even have the option of saying no to someone hijacking your eyes to look at things. Like you aren't even told also. So you just have to assume that at all times someone else is watching your life through your eyes.
Hmm.
That's
Which
fucking
knowing
creepy.
governments,
Yeah,
which knowing
that's
governments there is.
well, yes, but also
Yeah, of course.
it's not the government doing it.
It's everyone else who are then reporting to the government.
Yeah, it's the family units.
They're good communists.
Yeah.
They report their neighbors and family.
It's a chance to get fucked, a cousin messaged her. He was outside of the ship, still looking in after his uncle prodded him. Her uncle messaged something to that cousin, a mild telling off. In all seriousness, it is a chance to sow your wild oats. No, that's not
So?
how that goes. Yeah. So women don't sow oats in that metaphorical sense. They
No,
are
they are sown.
they are the ground they're planted in.
Yes.
So
Men sow oats. Women are where the oats are planted. Yes.
yeah,
Literally.
you can't go to your
Fields of
niece.
Kyle.
You can't go to your niece and be like, yeah, go sow your oats. You know,
Well, now
with
hang
that
on. Isn't
dick
this,
you don't got.
Isn't this the story where everybody wears a mechanical diaper so they might, have both sets of organs for anybody knows?
Yes, but no, because the thing is that the mechanical diaper is there so you don't accidentally see that you have genitalia.
Mhm.
But the problem with that statement is that the uncle has made mention multiple times that
Propaganda.
Winifred can simply go get fucked by a rich guy to get the money she needs to buy a spaceship. Which,
So she is female.
so she's female, because say what you want about the genitalia bit, unless they also have robo uteruses with robo eggs.
Doubt.
Yeah. You can get the cosmetic bit done, but yeah, unless they have flash cloning to replace the parts that produce things.
Also,
Yeah.
XY versus XX, and rejection of anything you put in the body that's not matching.
Well, I mean, well, look, this is supposed to be the demi future, so it's like maybe they came up with some sort of, I mean, Deus Ex Human Revolution has that whole fucking drug, whatever it's called, that allows the body to use cyberware and stuff like that.
You
it's a
mean
common.
cyberpunk?
No, both of them.
Well, yeah, okay,
Deus
both of them
Ex,
do it. Okay.
Deus
Deus
Ex
absolutely
has,
has that. That was one of the big things with the main character in Human Revolution.
yeah,
Was like, yeah, he doesn't need it, and it sets him
yeah.
apart. He's
Adam
not
Jensen
normal.
specifically is a genetic abnormality that doesn't require the medication to use cyberware, which is why he's able to use so much cyberware and why almost his entire body was able to be replaced with cyberware, specifically because his body wouldn't enter into a catastrophic rejection event from all the cyberware.
Yeah, one more button.
Yeah,
Literally
honestly,
a bit different.
Yes.
they're really fortunate that
Yeah.
he's a pretty understanding kind of guy. When it was real, like, oh yeah, so they shoved like decades worth of military prototypes in your body and just didn't tell you where the on switch was.
Yeah.
Oops.
Now, I will say, I would love to see Adam Jensen in Cyberpunk. That would be funny as shit. Adam Jensen literally cannot go cyber psycho.
And then Adam Smasher in
Yeah.
Deus Ex.
Also funny.
He would get snapped up by Arasaka and taken apart so fast to figure out
1591.
what made him tick.
See, that's the funny thing is you say that, but Adam Jensen has fought gods.
The issue with your statement sign is he's not just a walking army, he's 2 to 3 walking armies.
Yeah.
Like they'd send Smasher.
Hello.
No, you do not understand what Adam Jensen has won against.
Sign. If I say the word typhoon, does that mean anything to you?
Have a good night.
No, I never played.
Because it should mean
Revolution.
okay. Because to those of us who played Human Revolution, hello, I have cleared the next 4 rooms without moving.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an experimental anti-personnel, anti-tank, anti-material, AoE, what the fuck was it called? Area of effect dispersal system.
Yeah. The problem is that the only reason that it didn't go to more rooms is because of coding. I'm pretty sure the force used, realistically, what should have happened every time you use that in an enclosed space is, oops, I just demoed a building.
Yeah.
My bad.
So what was it, nanites or something?
No, basically, you exploded with, electromagnetically propelled, bowling balls.
No, Sneaky, they weren't even bowling balls. They were like little bigger than
marbles,
but they packed up.
Yeah, they're effectively marbles. Yeah.
The problem.
But basically, somehow his cyberware produced a 360-degree coverage, electromagnetically propelled marbles shot at fuck you speeds to everything around him.
Yeah, and that's just one piece of military tech that we knew was in him that was a prototype. The second game really is like, oh yeah, no, there's a bunch in there, and I think it's implied, or at least even said, like, there's a ton of stuff in you that I don't even know how to begin unlocking. Implying that there's so much more
Um,
tech that could have been in a third game that would
there
probably
there
never
was
fit.
straight up a emergency repair system that was quite literally in game had the effect of when your HP hits 0, it activates and it rebuilds you and you're just
Have a good
alive
night.
again.
Good night.
Night.
Nightmare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He also had active camouflage, like proper optical camouflage.
And also he had effectively a Sandevistan active at all times.
Mm.
And because of his unique compatibility with cybernetics, Sneaky said he's not going to go psycho. Period.
Okay. 2099.
Yeah. No. He's also great at hacking and stealth and assassinations and
Oh yeah, that his side job was head of security, except that we found out that head of security for his job was special forces you should be really scared of.
yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
Obviously.
The average person should never hear this man's name, and if you
Have
have
a
heard
good
this
night.
man's name, you should be worried.
You're either on a list of people to die or on a list of people that he keeps
What?
alive.
Yes.
But yeah, Adam Jensen is
Big
a
48.
specimen. But anyway, so let's see here. What else is he saying here? Oh yeah, Orby sound with oats. Yep. Okay, so he referenced that. She could work out what he meant by that. Running a train on yourself is great. You're on every eligible bachelor's
Yep.
radar, and some families with 100 men run a train on you in one night.
What the fuck?
And you'll get paid a decent amount of money doing it, too. Putting some money aside, are you synthetic down there? Yeah, she is, another guy says, looking at her hardware listing. I was gonna say, if you don't have one, you might want to switch to having one. And if you have one, be ready to replace it. It'll get worn. That's a myth. They're more durable than that. He was apparently trusted with the velocity and aim of her moving in the chunks and had come over to her. It looked like they were going to be handling their own loads. Excuse me, Dad, but as an owner of one, they get gross and they get harder to clean when you get a train run on you over time. It's really not worth it. Alright,
Jesus
thank you for
fuck,
the
wow,
mental
Bo.
image. That's what you get for not knowing some myths have facts to them. All myths have facts to them. I will defer to the experts with the hardware. You could try having a cock for a bit and be part of a train on someone else. That's what little Gwen did with her last time out.
Wow, Bo.
Alright. That's
Disgusting.
that's a conversation you have with a 14-year-old. That's a normal
Nope.
conversation you have with a 14-year-old.
I'm a
I
bit
wanna
worried
know
about
how-
how old the second person that they talked about who
Yeah.
who had a cock, because this uncle's calling the chick just by a regular name, but she
Little
called the second one
Gwen.
Little.
Yeah, that's
Worrying.
Mm.
Well, if we're going anything by what earlier chapters got posted said, it appears apparently the sexual education begins at least at age 3
Oh
with
lord.
some of these characters.
This
Yeah.
always causes emotional and physical pain whenever we bring up Wildbow and talk about it.
Definitely causes emotional distress talking about it. Um. Okay, so find people, her father whispered. Peers. Either go to another family or look outside of it. She tried to avoid looking shocked as she felt at the suggestion that she should find people to be around. You want to purchase a ship that will be crewed by people you will be required to be around for a minimum of months. And you're shocked by a family member telling you to get used to being around people.
No, she wants to do it all solo or with AI.
AI can't do that yet. I think they're highly limited in this story, in the era that this specific character is in. Because they look more like Clippies than Skynets.
Well, as long as it's not a paperclip maximizer.
Yeah, right. You're so solitary. Price told me you. Price's voice then overlapped and overrodes her father. Is a child doomed to leap from loneliness to a heart so broken it will not heal? Either because she finds someone and clings to them too hard and then doesn't survive when they leave her, or because she doesn't and a heart with nothing to fill it breaks. What if I fill it with something besides people? That does not work, let me tell you.
No man
does
is
not
an
work.
island alone unto himself.
I'm sorry, you unfortunately were in fact born to the species known as Homo sapien sapien, which means you are a social creature. It is literally in your DNA to be social with other Homo sapien sapiens.
I mean, yeah, sure, circumstances can conspire to.
Press X for that next time. It's a pain in the ass on a good day.
Circumstances can conspire to make it so that you don't actually enjoy interacting with most
Oh,
people.
yes. Well, see, no, but the problem
but-
is that even introverts, like myself, even
And myself.
introverts who don't like interacting with people, who don't leave their house, who don't talk for a majority of the day with people, still have an urge to interact with people.
Whether it's
Just because
online
I've-
or at work. Whether it's online or at work, that's how I do it.
Yeah, just because I'm fulfilling that urge by doing it through a text-based messaging system where I can start and stop conversations at any point in time whenever I will it, doesn't change the fact that I'm still having conversations with people.
You know, out of all the
If
things
you-
we've read of Wildbow, the biggest thing I've ever gotten out of him is that he has never worked retail.
True. If you want to prove me wrong, turn off Skype, turn off Discord, don't answer your emails, don't have any phone calls, don't answer your text messages for 3 days. Tell me how you feel after those 3 days.
So what you're saying is, shut the power off for 3 days. Yeah, I've done that before. It's not bad. It's actually really quite nice. That's when I pull out a book and start reading.
I don't need a bag or anything. Okay.
Sign, you have a job.
Yes.
A
However,
job where you interact with people.
there have been times where the power's been out and I've been on vacation and it's, oh, well, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be around anybody. Fuck it. If I want food, I'll go grill it. If otherwise, I'll.
Okay,
read a book.
maybe not 3 days, but that was my point was exaggeration, but apparently I didn't exaggerate fucking enough.
You
You
didn't censor
understand my
enough.
point. Yeah.
Have a
Go,
good night.
go do it for a
Your
fucking
point.
month. Go do it for 3 months. Go do it for 6 months. Tell me how you feel at the end of 6 months. With no one, not checking anything, no social media, no phone, no internet at all. Well, maybe not no internet at all, but close enough. Nothing at all. Don't talk to your parents. Don't talk to your. Don't go into your job, etc. You know,
It will
Yeah.
really fucking get to you.
99.99999999% of people will not react well to doing so. And let me tell you, you are not that guy. You are not the mythical hyper giggle
Oh, good lord.
0.000000001% of people that can be an island onto themselves. It's not happening. Because, you know why? More than likely, the man that is an island onto themselves already fucking in the forest. They're already in the goddamn trees.
He's in Kidu, yes.
Yeah, they're already fucking gone. They've checked out of society long time ago. We wouldn't be having this conversation if you were that guy.
Well, I like air conditioning and occasionally talking to people. Which means I have to work.
Yeah. Shame.
Very much a shame. If I could get free power and electricity and air conditioning and food and not have to talk to people, well, that's a different animal. I'd still choose to talk to people.
Yeah, if I just got all of the benefits of living in a society without participating at all in the society, I too would choose such a thing. Said,
That's called being rich.
yeah, true, true. Real.
Way to just bring reality crashing back down on us.
It crashed down onto me as well. That's why I had to share the suffering.
Of course, of course. You're still young and you're too comfortable with solitude. Blah blah blah. Oh, cartridge of cannabis. Witty, yeah, that's right.
Jesus.
Weed survived all the way into the deep, deep future. No problems with weed at all.
You expect me to believe that that's not some super strain? Just normal cannabis, really?
Yep.
Right.
Cannabis. So actually, speaking of cannabis, a study got posted recently
Oh
that
boy.
it's getting threatened to be taken down too. Um,
Like several studies.
yeah.
Let me guess, it's inconvenient for the industry.
It's inconvenient for weed.
Yeah,
Let me guess, they
that's true.
show that it's bad.
Yeah,
Like,
they
really bad.
yeah, they showed that the weed's actually really bad for you, and that if you consume a lot of weed, it actively changes the structure of your brain permanently, and they have yet to see a point in time where the brain ever recovers or returns to a previous thought process that you were at before weed. And that if you
So,
do weed between the ages of 10 and 25, you're basically adding a logarithmic multiplier to your brains getting restructured by the weed, and that these changes that the weed makes to your brain cause laziness, rage, short-term goal orientation, and that these changes can be passed down to your children if you have them.
oh, Jesus.
So it forcibly puts you on
It makes
the
you
spectrum,
retarded.
makes it genetic.
Yeah, it makes you
Yeah.
retarded, and then it makes your children retarded.
I knew there was
Hmm.
something wrong with the dude weed Lamau people.
I do find that interesting though, because if this is proven through more peer review studies, um, the argument is quickly going to go is the argument always circles back to but it doesn't kill neurons. It doesn't kill brain cells. It's like, okay, but it is
Neither
your
does
structural
alcohol or
It
tobacco.
fucking rewires them.
Like, the whole alcohol
No,
kills
but
brain cells thing is as much of a myth as, like, you have to consume dangerous amounts of alcohol to damage your brain.
so a sneaky level of alcohol.
Yes, actually. Like, literally, like, you have to be getting, like, blackout drunk. You have to be overdosing on alcohol to do damage to your brain in the way that people like to claim.
So the typical American college experience worth of alcohol.
Yes, like, having a beer doesn't damage your brain. Drinking a liter of vodka damages your brain. But
Well,
that's
yeah,
the same
literal poison.
as doing anything else. Drinking a liter of LSD is definitely going to damage your brain. Drinking a liter of cocaine is going to damage your brain. Doing a liter of whatever, the equivalent of a liter of weed is going to damage your brain. Doing a
If
liter equivalent of tobacco is going to damage your brain. That's just how it is.
I would like to see what happens if somebody does a liter of LSD. That would be hilarious.
I think they just die.
Yeah, probably.
One would
But
think.
boy, that sure is going to be an inconvenient study as it starts making the rounds through Facebook.
Yeah.
It'll get
Well,
disappeared.
It's
we'll see
absolutely
how
going
long it
to.
stays up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this just randomly reminds me. One of my friends, Sneaky, I think you can properly lament this alongside me. He'd buy cigars
Yeah.
and he'd unroll them and re-roll them with weed. And it's like,
Yeah, spliffing.
why don't you just buy
Yeah,
the
that's
paper then?
normal. Because a lot of places don't sell papers explicitly because people buy papers to use weed, and the papers they sell are usually not the good kind of paper that you'll get with a good cigar or cigarillo.
Well,
Yeah.
How do you know
cigars.
this sign?
Well, I mean,
Because
you just get dried tobacco leaves because cigars don't use paper. Cigars
Yeah.
are pure tobacco.
Well,
Including
this is the
wrapping.
other
most
thing.
people
The
don't know that.
spliffing is actually, like, terrible for you because, you know, on top of already smoking weed, the way you smoke weed is completely different from the way you smoke tobacco. And if you are going to inhale tobacco like you inhale weed, you are going to nuke your lungs.
It's different. I've
Yes.
never smoked, so I have no idea.
Yeah, so with
That
weed you inhale
that depends on the tobacco. Cigarettes you drag into your lungs. Cigars you don't.
I thought, yeah, the point of a cigar was to taste. You put it in your mouth, you taste it,
Yeah.
and you spit it out.
Well,
Yes.
Also, pure tobacco going in burns the shit out of your lungs and also will make you sick as a dog.
Well,
So-
no,
makes you
I've known
nauseous.
some people who actually smoked
Well,
cigars
no,
like they smoke cigarettes.
No, the it's the nicotine overdose that makes you sick. It's not the tobacco. Depending on your nicotine tolerance, like you can get brutally sick from a nicotine overdose.
Well, I know, but like it is still it's a pure tobacco. There's no additives.
Right.
One cigar is usually what people think of as the average cigar is worth like 20 cigarettes of tobacco.
Yes,
without
but
the drug additive, without the additives.
the issue though there is, like I said, you're typically supposed to ingest the tobacco smoke by osmosis through your mucal lining in your mouth.
No, I know.
People who deep drag a cigar are bold. But you're not really supposed to be deep dragging cigarettes either. That was a propaganda piece from the cigarette companies because it made you burn through your cigarette faster.
No, of course.
Yeah, and they also put additives into the filter to make you feel like you want to, like you wanted to deep drag, because the whole thing was they put, like menthol and like glass shards and asbestos and shit into the filter, and it spread a cool feeling to the rest of your lungs when you did a deep drag. And
Uh,
what oh yeah, what that really was it was cutting tiny little cuts into your lung flesh.
I mean, I know they put fiberglass in
Oh yeah, no, the
chewing
asbestos
tobacco at
cigarette.
one point.
Oh no, the asbestos cigarette was real. Yeah, they at the time were marketing it as a more wholesome filler. Yeah,
Asbestos.
Yep.
yeah. So like I said, there's a reason why I like to go with the most raw thing possible. It's why I do cigars and not cigarettes. Is like cigarettes are highly treated. I mean, like half the fucking cigarette is chemicals by the time it reaches you, and it's fucking wrapped in paper. Like, what the fuck are you doing smoking that?
You've
Like,
uh,
Jesus Christ.
you've seen that thing where somebody took and smoked steaks with cigarettes, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why
They
would
they
you
had a
do
machine
that?
that would smoke the cigarette and push the smoke into making myself sick here.
It probably
Into a
black
thing
tarred
with
it, didn't it?
steak. Yes, it
Yeah.
it was bad. He
Yeah, like that's the thing. Black tar, like the thing that people try, the anti-tobacco people try and push the whole black tar thing. The black tar comes from the chemicals they put in the cigarette, not the tobacco.
Yep.
it's in cursed media.
That that
It's
doesn't
pretty far back.
mean that cigars are healthy for you, but
Oh
they are
yeah, obviously,
healthier
of
than a
course. I'm not.
cigarette. Like
Cigars
that
are
is something that we
blatant.
do
Cigars
need to make
are
a
a
note.
drug. They are actively not healthy for you. However, some actual recent investigations into that is pushing the field on that a bit. Um, but effectively, what I've been told by some doctors recently is they're looking into how we keep finding the oldest men in the world are the ones that drink whiskey and smoke cigars.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
And what they're finding is that the cigar smoke and the whiskey are putting pressure, and because they're not like chain smoking cigars, and they're not drinking bottles of whiskey. They're having a glass of whiskey in the morning and a glass of whiskey in the evening. They're
Yeah.
having one cigar on the porch a day. And what they're finding with that is that it's actually basically pressuring the body's systems, and because the pressure is present but not overwhelming, instead of the body's systems slowly wasting away, the body assigns a higher priority to the systems and repairs them, because it's like, oh well, we need these to stay alive, and so it puts more effort effectively into repairing those systems like the liver and lungs.
They're taking damage. I gotta repair them.
Yeah, so it's
They're 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 forcing exercise in a slightly different and unexpected
a
manner.
very unexpected way. Yeah, effectively, because like and the only reason why I looked into this sort of stuff is because I got my blood test done, and they were like, yeah, you're more or less pretty good in terms of every category. But do you drink? And I was like, I mean, yeah, like pretty rarely these days. And they're like, well, you should consider drinking about maybe a shot of vodka every day or so. And I was like, why? And they're like, well, it'll help lower your blood cholesterol in the liver by stimulating it.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
that's interesting.
okay. Well
Huh.
then.
Mm.
It's pretty unique.
But Yeah, so it's a thing, right? But point being is that tobacco smoke is way less fucks you over way less than weed does. Um, but if you make a spliff, you are doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do with a cigar. So, and also honestly, weed, because most weed is burned in a container of some sort, and then you inhale the smoke from the bong. I believe that was the popular method when I was in college. I know people make rolls, whatever the fuck they call them these days, but
Blunts.
like
Doobies, blunts,
doobies, blunts, yeah, whatever. But from what I've
roaches.
heard from the people who did smoke, that was more of the variety of weed smoker who was deep in their addiction
Mm.
and needed a more intense source of the drug. Like you normal people, according to them, again, this was college days, um, that the smoke, the air misting was for people who wanted a watered down hit of weed, while the people who wanted a more intense high did the raw burning.
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I heard from the people who did that stuff. Maybe
Sounds
they were
about
just
right.
fucking with me, but sounds about right to me. So,
That could have been.
uh, but yeah, spliffing is really, really fucking stupid. You
Yeah.
really stupid.
You know, I'm still never gonna get over the fact that people will insist that weed smells better than tobacco.
God no.
Oh God,
Like,
no!
It
Holy
smells
crap,
like a
no!
No.
I love the cope because it's like, guys, I can smell someone who just had weed a
Mm.
good 10 yards away. Whereas with a tobacco smoker, I've got to be like right up on them unless they've got a
unless they're down there.
currently lit cigarette or cigar.
Or
And
Yeah,
even
even
well,
that.
then,
it's not just that. It's like,
like you can smell weed from a full like football field
yeah, oh,
away.
yeah, yeah,
Minimum.
exactly. It's like,
Only a football field?
with
Shit.
I said minimum. Listen to the
with like
words. Turn your
tobacco.
hearing aid on, son.
With like tobacco, it's like it smells like there's just a fire. Like it's got a
No,
less
it
woody
smells like
scent.
uh I don't know if you've noticed, but tobacco smells both like whatever the fuck they're smoking and the person being smoked. Have you noticed that?
I have never noticed that. No,
I I have no idea what you're talking about. It just smells like
It
tobacco.
smells
no,
like
it
burning leaves.
smells like the person being smoked.
No, it
Like
doesn't.
Mm.
if you've got just the cigarette by itself, yes, then you've got the
Oh,
burning flavor.
Oh,
If you
cigarettes
have
completely
split,
different
Yeah.
from
no.
cigar.
That
Yeah.
Sigh, no.
no.
Oh
okay,
my God,
Like
sigh.
No.
You're
they
just
both have tobacco, but a
Yeah.
cigar is
a
purely
cigarette is it is
yeah, no,
a
cigars are
cigarette's a far more potent scent.
I
yeah,
thought Stone
cigars
was
are
over here
not
sniffing
bad.
people.
Yeah,
No,
no.
no,
Like here's the thing. I like the smell of tobacco because I grew up where someone I considered a grandfather
smoked.
would be smoking a
Yeah,
cigar every time there was a big event. So I grew up with the good tobacco smells. So whenever
cigars
I
are
smelled
very earthy.
cigarettes, it's like, oh, I don't like those. I don't
Yeah,
like the smell of cigarettes. They
Mm.
yeah,
smell awful.
tobacco smells not bad.
yeah. A good
I
cigar
wouldn't
smells
smoke
earthy.
one, but a cigar, yeah, doesn't smell terrible.
Honestly, it's
Cigarettes,
not
on the other
bad. I
hand,
totally understand
Uh,
why people
yeah,
wouldn't smoke it, but like
I
you have to
smoked
be
cigars for
particularly
a
stupid.
year.
Yeah.
Like I smoked cigars for a year. I see why people like it, but it just wasn't really doing anything for me. And I also timed them out to make sure I would not get
Mm,
addicted to tobacco,
yeah.
regardless of my opinions on it. Because pure tobacco, fun fact, only takes a maximum of 14 days to flush from a person's system. So if you just time it
Yeah,
once once every 2
cigarettes
weeks.
also have an ingredient in them that actively makes you more susceptible to tobacco addiction.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not
Several
really
ingredients.
it's not really aware with cigars unless you just are unfortunate with your genetic makeup.
Yeah. Or unless or you can be Dutch and have the opposite where you're just totally immune to nicotine addiction. Because the Dutch are just like that.
Of course.
Yeah. Apparently that's what I learned is apparently the Dutch have such a long history of smoking and drinking that their descendants kind of just aren't phased by smoking or drinking.
Hmm.
Basically, we are the
Thank you, Grandpappy Alcoholic. You definitely made me stronger.
we are the salamander that eats the poison toad. We we spent so long eating the poison toad that now we're just immune to the toad's poison.
Our descendants
tastes
will be
spicy.
like, "What are you talking about? This toad is never poisonous."
This toad has never been poisonous.
We eat it because it's spicy.
But I don't my whole thing of not smoking cigars is two-part. Smoking a cigar requires me to leave my apartment, which I can barely get out of my apartment to do necessities like buying groceries. I actually have taken the hit and have accepted paying more to have someone else buy them for me rather than leaving my apartment. So, good luck convincing me to go outside and smoke.
Wow.
But then on top of that is like, yeah, I don't like. I've gone like I would smoke every single weekend with my father, and then the races stopped, so we stopped meeting up for like 6 months, and then I was like, oh, I haven't smoked in like 6 months, huh? And then I texted my dad, and I was like, yeah, Dad, I just realized I hadn't smoked in 6 months. He's like, huh, you're right, I haven't either. And we both just like, oh. Oh yeah, that's the thing we do. But honestly, my urge to not let a cigar, aka money I used, go to waste, possibly has a more overbearing effect on me to smoke a cigar than any sort of nicotine addiction.
That's $20 made for smoking. If you don't smoke it, you wasted it.
I have to smoke the cigar, or else I'm wasting it.
Mm-hmm. Makes
I
sense to
mean,
me.
it is a consumable.
Yeah,
It
I mean
does
it's got
have
a
an
limited.
expiry date.
It does indeed. But the good news is that, as I've also found out, is that because of my decade of respiratory issues, is that I am completely unable to taste cigars. Like they just taste like smoke to me. Um, so I don't really like notice the loss in flavoring when the cigar gets dry for too long. In fact, I actually like European cigars because they're dried instead of wet cigars like American cigars. Um, they have a sharper flavoring, but yeah, no, I don't really notice the loss in flavor. So I've had the same box of cigars for 3 years now, just sitting there
I mean, I think the only
unsmoked.
difference I think the only difference you'll notice is it might burn off a little bit quicker. Maybe. That's
No, pretty much. Yeah.
like the taste is gonna depend on the tobacco leaf used, I think. And if they, soak the leaves in anything before drying them out and wrapping them. Like
Well,
that's
I
a
mean the
that's
other
a
reason why you
whole other thing.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, spliffing and lacing a cigar, it's kind of just cringe, honestly.
Mhm.
I knew someone who spliffed their cigar and then laced it with, like, I think it was LSD or something, right? MSM? MDM?
Jesus.
Oh, all I think of MSM
Well, they
is fucking
went.
the old Mexican.
Well, see, the thing is they basically lace their cigars with MSM because what they would fucking roll up this fucking spliff, soaked in whatever other fucking drug they were doing as well at the same time, and then they would go and watch like CNN and shit.
Yeah, I tried real hard to find a cigar that someone had flavored with honeysuckle. I
Ooh.
only ever found one, except that it was also a hodgepodge of other things, and they were
Uh,
selling a single cigar for $30. Like, no,
yeah.
fuck you.
If you want
Plenty,
to try
plenty of
flavored
vanilla and red
cigars,
options though.
acid is a good one. Not acid as in the drug, acid as in the
The
brand of
the
cigar.
brand. No,
Yeah.
yeah, they come up pretty frequently.
They're okay. I wouldn't like be like, oh
I
man, you gotta try them. But you know,
I just
it's
stuck
like
with I
you
stuck with one brand, to be
know,
honest. It was the brand that the grandfather figure I'd mentioned,
yeah, yeah,
smoked.
yeah. If you're gonna
Because
smoke, might as well
his
do that.
well, I decided to try it after he passed. Like, oh sure, I'll do this, sort of in honor of him. And the last cigar I smoked was the 1 year anniversary of his death, and ain't
Mm,
touched one since 2023,
mm,
sometime
yeah.
in May.
Mm.
Um, it's funny because it was a cheap brand. I told you about
Yeah,
the
well,
Sneaky. There was one. There was one that was
well,
like $1.40 per cigar after shipping.
yeah. No, see, that's the thing, right?
His
It's really
his motto.
wild. Yeah. Well, what
His
brand was
motto
it?
was it was Palma de Real.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good one.
It was a bulk brand. His motto was the cheaper the better.
Well, I mean, it's honestly a mixed bag for that sort of stuff because, like, I've had a $20 cigar. I mean, a cigar that costs $20 per cigar. Uh, it sucked.
Well, I'm
It
sure it did.
was meh on the flavoring. It it wasn't well rolled. Um, I kept going out. I had to keep relighting it. It was just generally meh.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
then
the
I've
Palma
had
de
a
Real.
$1 cigar that I was like, damn, this is the best fucking thing I've had so far.
Yeah, no, the Palma de Real.
Yeah,
I could set
Palmas are
it.
pretty good.
I could set it to the side,
Yeah,
and it would continue smoking itself for at least a minute
yeah,
before I
yeah,
would need to take another puff on it.
yeah.
Like, it was an easy flavor, easy smoke. It kept itself burning, and it only cost me like like I said, like $1.40 per cigar. 'Cause you can only buy those in bulk.
Yeah.
The very specific one that he smoked, you could only do in bulk, and I only found
Well,
it at Mike's
there,
Cigars
there's definitely
in
a
Country Club.
threshold where once you reach a certain level of expense per cigar, it stops being about the cigar being good and it starts being more about how much you paid for it. Like,
Or yeah.
well, because what you do is you go to cigar lounges and the cigar lounges are filled with other rich people, and you're like, oh yeah, well this one's a Jingo original. It was only
Oh.
$120 per.
And then there are the things like the Cubans, which are specifically because it's illegal that they like it.
Yeah. Well,
Oh
also the
no,
Cubans aren't too bad.
Cuban's a style of cigar
It's a style,
as
but he's
well,
specifically talking
and
about the
Talking about Cubans from
tobacco
Cuba.
from yeah.
Mm.
Which, I mean, aren't technically illegal. You've been able to buy them for about a decade now, legally.
They changed that?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, Cubans came up on the catalogs I was looking through trying to track down that specific cigar brand myself, so yeah.
It's just, Cuba's only allowed to
Yeah.
export X amount per year.
Yeah, also don't forget that science knowledge of basically anything is a decade out of date after he's born 80 years ago.
2 decades. You have to keep in
Oh.
mind he was only born 160 years ago.
Yeah.
I can't argue that. I'm still living in 2004, okay?
But it's actually
we have-
funny because a coworker of mine had the same experience you did, Sneaky. He got to smoke like a $40 or $50 cigar that his dad had bought.
Yeah.
And I was trying to cut down some of the bulk I had bought because like I'm not gonna force myself to do one a week unless I'm feeling it. So I try to like hand one out here, another one out there.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, do you want to try the cigar that my grandfather used? And I was, oh, sure. Came back to me next year. It's like, dude, that cigar you gave me is the best one I've ever had, and he's had like 2 or 3 before that, and all of them were between $7 and $40. It's like, yeah, it's a nice, easy smoke. Keeps itself going. You don't have to babysit it. It's like, yeah, maybe there's some wisdom to cheaper the better when it comes
Yeah,
to
because
cigars.
I mean, it's just like you're not really a cigar smoker. Typically, isn't smoking a cigar to chase the nicotine. Some of them obviously are, but in majority, cigar smokers are usually like, yeah, I'm gonna have a cigar while I'm drinking my whiskey, while I'm watching the game, while
Right.
I'm reading a book, while I'm
Or
socializing with other people. Like, they're
it's
doing
usually
an
that last.
activity paired
It's usually,
with,
yeah.
yeah, the
Well, it's
last one.
usually that last one. Like, it's a reason for them to socialize with other people. It's a entire. It's a very in-depth hobby.
It's like why people drink Bud Light, even though it's basically piss water. It's because they're not drinking Bud Light for the alcohol content. They're drinking Bud Light because it's an environment where they are doing it with other people and other activities. No one drinks Bud Light because it's Bud Light. No one.
Tastes like cardboard.
I wouldn't
Liquid
know.
cardboard.
I had
I'll
one
I'll
sip.
I'll take your guys' word for it because I've only ever heard one person say they liked Bud Light, and it turns out that was the only alcohol that they ever drank.
I'm gonna restrain myself. I have restrained myself on that one. I pulled myself in.
You know, despite being Australian, I still prefer spirits over beer, but the best beer I've had is Great Northern because like Bud Light is just shit.
If anyone ever offers you an IPA, tell them to go fuck themselves with it.
I'm sure they'll take that well. Yeah, my friend on the internet said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yep.
They're fucking hipsters.
It's like I'm sorry. I have had over 30 IPAs. I lived in the IPA capital of America. I have never had a good IPA.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll keep that in mind. I think the only alcohol I would ever accept is like hard liquor, whiskey or scotch or something, because it'll either turn me off alcohol, or I'll find I like it, but because it's particularly
Um,
expensive, I won't touch it as often.
it's really hard to say with that one because the problem is with whiskey, scotch, and bourbon is that you have a really wide range of them. Like, you can have some real rot gut shit out there that tastes like boot polish. Looking at you, Jack Daniels.
Yep.
And then you can have some real nice, smooth ones out there that go down nice, got a nice aftertaste to them, got a nice taste to them when you are drinking them. You know, chill nice. They don't need to be mixed with anything. You can just sit there and enjoy it. And the price point on those is, again, a lot like cigars. Some of the fucking worst shit I've ever had was expensive, and some of the better shit I've ever had was $12 for a moonshine bottle. So, Scott, they like vodka's the same way. I mean, you have like haku. Uh,
Haku vodka.
Yeah, Haku vodka, it's a very smooth vodka. It uses rice instead of potatoes. Um, and it goes down very nicely. It has a different profile than potato vodka, which has a different profile than corn vodka, which has a different profile than wheat vodka, which has a different profile than rye vodka. And some of those vodkas will fuck you up, like rye vodka. um, you get shit like Everclear, which is the same system but just more concentrated. So it's like, oh well, I might like Scotch, I might not like Scotch. It's like no person who enjoys Scotch enjoys the entire spectrum of Scotch, or even most of the spectrum of Scotch. They usually Scotch enjoyers, bourbon enjoyers, whiskey enjoyers, they usually find the brand and typing that they enjoy, and then only drink that. Vodka enjoyers kind of just grab the nearest bottle of vodka because they're vodka enjoyers.
Nah, there's certain vodkas I don't touch. They're the cheaper ones.
I mean, that's fair, but also at the same time, I just don't touch certain types of vodka. It doesn't matter the price. If it's fucking grain based, I don't touch it. The only grain I'll have in my vodka is rice or potato. Fucking rye and wheat vodkas, get the fuck out of here. That shit is always rough as fuck, not fun to drink.
Like, I still don't eat. For some reason, I don't like fucking Absolute vodka or.
Oh well, I don't blame you. That shit's piss.
It is. And there was also what's the one that's cheap that's in every fucking pub or something?
The one that's in Smirnoff.
Smirnoff, that's it. Can't stand Smirnoff either.
Terrible. It's the worst shit ever.
That's why I used to always use Russian Standard until Russia and Ukraine went to war. Then I stopped having vodka.
Russian
but now
Standard was pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, whenever someone asks for alcohol recommendations, sours. I say start your adventure at sours, because if all else fails, you can just return to sours. Sours is fermented berry juice. Good shit. Very sweet. Don't know why people don't like sours. They don't mass produce sours. I don't know of any brand of mass produced sour. They usually have to look locally. And not a lot of people produce them consistently either from the locals. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Up in Vermont, there was a lot of alcoholic cider. And the People's Press was my biggest weakness when I was up there. That shit was good. It's like beer, but apple cider. Who knew? But anyway. Yeah, so Wildbow's latest story is terrible. Has terrible people in it with terrible messaging. Head resting on foam, metal of the table felt awkward on the spine. Every piece of her disconnected and pulled away. She was reduced to a partial skull, a brain, a neck, and a heart. She lost most of her bones in the last refit. The law lapsed, and while there was a gap, she taken the opportunity to get rid of the rest of her bones. or her parents at least did. She didn't care either way. Not about bones she didn't feel. Those were liabilities if she was hurt. Ew. I'll save the Era 2 characters for next time, the ones that use machines to piss because their parents want their child to choose their gender, accidentally almost killed their friend while she jumped from the balcony to get out of math lessons, gets forced into doing community service, and pisses off the Taylor lookalike who's connected to gangs. Alright. What the fuck did signpost?
Probably something cursed.
Oh.
It's not-
The thing about
Smoking meat
a
with
steak,
500. Oh, this guy, Mr. Mad Science. I like Mr. Mad Science. He's a funny dude. The chemical in red wine is resveratrol. The hell's resveratrol? Resveratrol is a natural compound found in grapes. It's a antioxidant that assists you in fighting cancer, cholesterol, heart disease, hay fever, and weight loss. I always knew those Italians and French were keeping things from us. Always knew it. Has many effects on the body, including expanding your blood vessels and reducing clotting. Okay, well, that's not great. Or might be great, depending on your situation. Everyone else alive in here, or am I just talking to the goddamn ghost?
I'm here.
What?
I'm
Alright.
just at work,
No,
so I
we're
can't see.
here.
I
I'm
live.
just troubleshooting SteelSeries usual nonsense at the moment.
I assume as much.
I fell asleep.
Yes, I noticed.
Well, not so much fell asleep as I was drifting. I can still hear it, just yeah.
You were exiting this reality and entering one where you were far younger.
Sorry, I was playing
Yes.
Girls Frontline 2, and I'd rather look at Groza than listen to you.
That's completely
Fair.
fair and understandable, sir.
Maybe we should
Completely fair.
Maybe we should just put like Groza animations on the stream. That'll bring in.
I feel like that won't work out great for me. Maybe I should change. Maybe I should change
Get a
the
Groza
category
avatar.
to girls frontline. And just put
Do
YouTuber
not.
stream Groza.
just stream Groza.
It's Groza's face talking, but it's Sneaky's
No,
face.
God, no. I would not go that
No.
far. I'm not that
Hilarious.
cringe.
I regret coming
So
in
you're
here.
not Arn?
No, I'm not on. I was more making the joke that I'll put on I'll put the girls frontline category on and then put like I'll just stream the dormitory of Groza as the background to the to the podcast as I talk about whatever the
no.
fuck, but it's just Groza's idle animation in the background.
Well, that's
I
one way
think
to do
you'd
the
have a
stream.
few people who would enjoy it.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just I don't know how everyone would feel about me selecting the category as girls frontline instead of like political or talk show or something. But yeah, yeah. I did leave them a survey response recently because they asked for a questionnaire to be filled out. So I did that, and as the final comment that they asked for in the questionnaire, I was like, look, hey, you guys could make a lot more money using the investment fallacy. If you added in a permanent way of earning polls, so people play the mechanics to earn polls without autoing. So it would be like a manual combat only thing, and by earning a slow amount of polls every single week, when an event does roll around and they want to spend those polls, they'll spend the 30, 40 polls they got between events, and then they'll want to buy polls to finish out and to get to the 70 polls needed to guarantee because of investment fallacy. And that's my secret way of pitching it to the company, so I can not do that and just earn polls and then live with not earning things because I'm able to do that and I have self-control, unlike half the people in this podcast.
Yeah, I learned I can't play gotchas.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was making fun of you.
Hey, at least I'm self-aware enough to realize there's a problem and then put it down so there's not a problem anymore.
Then you know what? You are right, Sign. We are all proud of you. Everyone stand up and clap for Sign.
I don't feel like it.
That's fair.
I didn't stand up, but
I don't
clapped.
think he's earned applause.
Also
Have any
fair.
of us here?
Hold on. Let's see if he has earned applause. Where's his commissions list again?
Also true. Also very true.
How many children are there?
I don't think he's gonna survive that check though. Something's
As
whispering in my
check
ear.
is about to fail.
Yeah, something's whispering in my ear that he's about to fail that vibe check. His vibes are gonna be judged harshly.
Let's see. Well, commissions itself hasn't. No one's talked in it since November, so.
Of course, no one ever talks in commissions.
I just linked the document.
Ah, he's proud of his children.
New
But
title:
should he-
Girls Frontline, but I rant about fanfics while staring at Groza. Yes. Factual.
So are these all in 2024? I've got to ask.
Yes.
Let's see. 6. No, wait, hold on here. He's got these 3 marked as
months.
overdue.
6
And
months.
those are just a month ago. I don't think he marks things that were just a month.
No,
There,
he's
yeah,
got
there's
the month first. He's got month
Everything
first,
that-
then day.
Yeah,
What do you mean
everything that's
month for
red
day?
is from last year.
Oh!
Yeah,
I
yeah, no,
asked him
I'm
if
looking
it's
at
all
yeah,
from
no,
2024.
if you click on the cell itself, it shows it in the function. That's what I was saying. I'm pretty sure that he hasn't marked things that old as not red. I mean, yeah, because 2024, the March 2024, yeah.
7 days
Damn.
until the late one is born as well.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we got Normie. Really, people still fucking no one's commissioning you for Normie anymore, but yeah, that one kind of did die. You kind of did kill that one.
Tofu did, but what he wants is a plot point that was going to be further in the future. So at this point, I'm just going to go fuck it and write it anyway.
Yeah, I was just writing a murder mystery. I'm still listening. Oh no, LeMay, I'm not shitting on you. I'm shitting on all the people who are supposed to be responding with noises whenever I make noise myself. I played
Noises are hard
gotcha
to
and then got bored of
understand.
them. Never spend my money on them. Yeah, no, I don't spend money on gotchas either. I just enjoy the art mostly.
Why would you buy a fifth of a chapter?
I'm sorry, what?
What the fuck? Who the fuck buys a fifth of a chapter? Paid $10.
Wanted one. Okay, somebody only paid for 1,000 words. So what they're hoping I'll do is give them the full 5,000 words that I normally do on a chapter because I have the tism when it comes to that, and I can't stand having an incomplete.
Write a 1,000 word omaki and tell them
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm tempted to do.
You've got to. That's
Well,
the
don't be
bullshit. You can't let
tempted.
him.
Just do it that way.
Don't be a
because that's
fucking
bullshit.
bitch, Sign. Or I'm gonna
Either
start
give him
paying
his-
you. I'm gonna
either
start
give him
paying you
See,
$10.
it's-
Sign,
Out of
if
heaven.
you don't put your foot down on this, I will now forevermore pay you $10. And until the next $10 chapter is written, I will then pay you another $10.
Jesus.
Sneaky. Just do it
I
even
will
worse.
abuse you,
$9.
Sign.
Just make it 9. See how
That's
low
the
you
fuck.
can get it.
Why does no one clip that shit?
That's
Yeah,
clippable. That is very
uh,
clippable.
Bro just said he's gonna fucking abuse it. What the fuck?
No, Max,
I mean-
see, I first have to get him used to me paying him $10, and then I'll slowly lower the amount over time until I'm just paying a single dollar per chapter.
Yeah, no, that's not
Really
happening.
devious.
That's what you think.
So what it actually is on the subscription tiers, the lowest tier comes with 1,000 words for that tier, right?
Right.
But 99% of people go, "Hey, would you put this towards whatever chapter you're doing next?" Sure, okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then you get the one motherfucker who's like, "Well, I want you to take out something that you haven't worked on in over a year and put my words towards that. So not only do you want me to resurrect something that's dead, you only want to pay
Well-
for 1,000 words worth of it."
Well, you set the business model, Sign. Why are you getting mad that someone's expecting you to do your business model?
I'm not getting mad
Someone's
about it.
making
I'm
me do
pointing
my
out that that's
job.
what
I
they're
hate it.
doing.
I mean, normally when you're pointing something out, you wouldn't normally throw out the insult motherfucker. Just as a simple observation.
Damn,
Because
that's a
this
hell of a
motherfucker
lot.
is expressly going out of his way to try to get a free full chapter.
So make the omake.
Damn,
Don't be
people are
tempted.
actually
I'm gonna do.
commissioning Noble Shard? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Very
Noble
simple.
Shard, so to everyone not aware, Noble Shard is literally signed, but he is now Queen Shaper, and he is chemically manipulating Amy.
Mm.
Oh, how lovely.
So
Side
Most-
dream, man. God fucking damn it.
I was going to say most stable
God
relationship I've ever heard.
damn it.
Now, I will say I do give credit and leniency where it's due, because Sign has included multiple jokes that I've said in the Discord into the chapter itself. So, you know, I have to give Sign leniency for that. Such as get happy, get happy, get happy, get happy.
Yes, that's great.
You know I'm in your brain and I have full control over it, and I can press this button here that makes you happy. No, you don't. You won't do it. Fuck you. Get happy, get happy, get happy, get happy. And then she physically was like, I can't even be mad right now.
Oh God, Ren and Stimpy.
Man, Ren and
Curse of
Stimpy, that
Ages.
was
The older you grow, the more you realize, man, this creator was kind of fucked up in too many
Yeah,
different
Ren
ways.
and
shit.
Stimpy was actually just a cry for help.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I
He was
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
how
yeah,
that
this is
shit got
funny."
greenlit.
Probably
MTV.
because one.
No, I don't know how this shit got greenlit for kids.
Oh, easy.
Sneaky, I have an answer for you. Hold
Smile.
on.
Schneider and
Yeah.
his foot fetish.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
I was gonna say more.
yeah.
The reason why is because, as it
Yeah.
turns out, enough cocaine can fuel any decision.
That's true.
I mean, I suppose I just really feel like that's I don't like it.
You don't get that answer?
Yeah.
That's too damn bad.
Reminder:
stealth
the
is
naked
optional for
cartoon
this mission.
shower scene exists.
Stealth is optional for this mission. Shut up.
Like they went places with Ren and Stimpy.
That is a fucking sentence and a half.
Yeah,
They went places, he says.
they went
I mean, yeah,
places.
that is effectively what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I see people are already making beans of Xiaomi.
Huh?
Xiaomi is the
Funny
funny.
bean.
Huh?
Gaming in gaming. Girls Frontline
Mm.
2. She
Oh.
hides in the snow.
It's an art style type. It's like demi chibi.
Hmm?
They're called beans. They art style.
Beans?
Yeah, beans. They're like they're smaller than chibis. They're beans. It's don't ask.
Is that the tactical camouflage image?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's in the chibi style, but without the big head.
That's called beans.
Average Finnish soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they definitely have a big head. It's like bean style. I call it bean
the hell?
style
I copied that.
specifically because the guy who draws these also draws the character in a literal bean. One of the Nikkei characters.
Okay.
In a literal bean. Aura, you know what I'm talking about. Post that image.
Are you
I
talking
think
about
that might be a
Dora?
different artist.
It's the same
Okay.
style.
Mm.
Okay, give me a moment. I'll find it. I know.
Are you referring to the Doro, perhaps?
No, I'm referring to the
Oh
bean.
no, we're wasting too much data.
Oh, speaking of which, I was helping a guy today. He was having issues with OneDrive and Adobe, and it was like broken as fuck, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then we were having so many issues with everything, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" You know? I close OneDrive. I'm trying to clear everything out, reset the cache. I'm doing everything left, right, and center, right?
Many such cases.
But finally, I go, I have to check this out. And I noticed because he's not on the office network, right? He's on his home network. And I pull up speed test.
Oh dear.
And I run speed test. And his download speed was 0.3.
DSL?
No, coaxial.
Is he torrenting?
No, he was doing nothing. Also, speed test isn't affected by torrenting.
I feel like it is if you're fucking seeding or something. I forget.
Well, it is if you're on DSL.
Okay. Why the
Yes,
fuck are you
okay,
on DSL?
yeah.
If
But anyway,
you're on anything with tiny bandwidth, yes, it is.
That's fair. Actually, yeah, that's fair.
well, I mean, but even then, the typical speed test these days does it by spiking, not by, you know.
If there's nothing to spike because your bandwidth is taken up by the torrent, which abuses spiking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
how it works.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So basically, I ran the speed test and it came back 0.3, and I was like, "What kind of internet do you have?" He's like, "Oh, it's through Comcast." I was like, "Oh, so it's coaxial cable." He's like, "Yeah, that sounds about right." And he's like, "It's been bad for like a couple months now." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy. Look, there is not a single thing under God that I can do
I'm gonna say it's Comcast.
to fix this issue here. We tried resetting his router and power cycling and all that fun stuff, but I was like, yeah, look, I cannot do anything about this. You have to call Comcast and have to make them fix this, because that is the only long-term solution for this. The
But
short-term
can't you call
solution
them
is,
for me?
well, actually we couldn't, because it's his personal.
It's Comcast also. Comcast
No,
is Comcast.
So the issue with Comcast specifically actually is that they're super stickler. Like I've been on Comcast for some clients before, and I'm like, hey, yeah, can we just get like a scan of the area? Is there any outage reports at this X address, or in the area of X address? And they're like,
And the
oh,
answer is
sorry,
no, go fuck
what's your
yourself.
customer's number? I was like, I don't know, we don't have it written down here. Is there any outage in the area? I'm sorry, we can't answer your question until we verify you're a customer. I'm like, look, I am just asking if there is a fucking outage in this area.
We can't tell you that because you're not a customer. Come back later.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, and I'm just like, oh.
Fuck you. Literally, I had to try and... So we lost internet for some reason. I had to call Comcast and I was like, what's your customer number? I don't know. I'm covering for a family. We need your customer number. I can't tell you it. I don't have it. I'm just trying to cover it. Sorry, we can't help you. Get the customer number and call us back. Get the customer number after like an hour of trying to fucking find it. And then they say like, oh yeah, it's in my desk. I'm like, where in your desk? And
Okay.
it's just fucking... It was on hold for another 2 hours. And then I get someone that says, oh, I'm sorry, that's not the customer number. Please call back later. Hangs up.
Jesus.
Comcast is Comcast. Also known as the devil himself. May God smite down every Comcast employee.
Oh my god, there was one period of time where I called in for an outage, and they were like, oh, what's your customer number? I was like, I have this right here. It's like, here's the customer number. They're like, okay, and it's like, this address? Yeah, this address. All right, and what email was used to open this account? I was like, how the fuck would I know that? Look, I'm just calling for my boss. We're a business. You can see we're a business account. We have a fucking business number. How the fuck would I know what email he used? Is it this email? No. You have to tell us the correct email. I was like, okay, well, if it's not his business email, how the fuck am I supposed to know what personal email he has? Oh, have him call in. I'm the employee. He's the boss. I call in because he tells me to.
Yeah, that's when you have to get him on the phone with them, and they usually verify it by social security number.
Yeah, I know, and like that wasn't fucking happening. First off, because the internet was down, which also meant that the VoIP phones were down, which means I wasn't getting him on the phone, and we don't have his mobile number, so I can't send him an email, and I can't send, I can't call him, can't send him an email.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, I was just like, well, but, Comcast can go fucking shove a Rusty. Like, they got this shit now where you call Comcast and they're like, yeah, go with our fucking dumb shit AI who asks you to repeat everything twice. And then in the dumb shit AI is going to be like, yeah, we're going to reset your modem. I'm like, I already tried that. Yeah, but we're going to do it anyway. It's like, okay. And then you have to wait 15 minutes and then you have to call them back. And then you have to wait for the AI to recognize that they already reset your modem, because sometimes it'll do it 2 or 3 more times. And then it'll finally put you on with a human operator who will then reset your modem. And then 2 or 3 more times. And then finally the human operator will be like, all right, well, we noticed your ticket is still ongoing. So we'll maybe look into dispatching someone to that area. It's just like, I'm going to commit a terroristic act.
Most common search pair when it comes to Comcast. How do I firebomb Comcast headquarters?
Oh, yes, thank you. There's the bean. Yes. Bean.
I'm not saying we should permanently firebomb their headquarters. I just think we should do a little bit of firebombing as a fun treat. In Minecraft.
A little burning.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, a little burning. Yeah, minor amount of burning.
in
That's
Minecraft.
Bean.
That's the bean.
Mr. Bean?
Federal agents, I do not mean what I say, and that is a lie. I totally mean
He
what
absolutely does. He totally means it. Take him down.
He means everything he says. He's
Kick
a
his door
terrible
in.
person.
Yep.
I say. Joke's
Shoot
on you,
his
I have 13
dog
claymores.
full of tannerite.
Oh no! Don't shoot my dog, Wallace.
Oh no, not Tanny.
He's right next to Joe, who won't put his gun down. Definitely don't shoot Joe.
Yes, the mannequin full of tannerite.
Don't shoot Joe Tanner. He's my best friend.
He's going to answer the door with his gun drawn and will not put it down regardless of how many times you tell him to.
Tanner's always right.
Someone ban this man.
You know, it's like, you throw like rice at a vampire to force them to like, do an action,
Count it.
right?
Mhm.
You release like a
Force them
horde
to
of
do an
puppies
action.
to confuse ATF.
They
No,
have to
that's just when
spend.
they
They have
get
to spend
flooded.
actions. They have to succeed on a wisdom save.
Yeah, they have to spend actions to shoot all the puppies.
God
They
damn.
have to spend. They have to spend wisdom saves in order to make sure they can actually punch.
If you unleash babies and puppies, there's a minor conflict as they try to figure out which to shoot first.
Of
Wait,
course.
hold on a
yeah.
minute. That baby's a fundamentalist. Kill him. Christian fundamentalist.
They have to break out the chart to see if he's the acceptable color for being shot.
Jesus Christ, sign.
Oh my god, that was not the joke I was making. Oh my god.
So, to quickly diverge topics, I also was introducing my Georgian coworker to New York City specifically.
I'm sorry.
Why would you do that to him?
Well, because he made a Luigi joke, right? And I said, no, you don't understand. New York cops are the highest shooter of civilians in New York City.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that sounds about right.
it's not because they're shooting the people they're arresting. It's because they're shooting the people around the people they're arresting.
I'm not surprised.
And I told him, and I showed him the article where a cop and a criminal got into a firefight, and 13 pedestrians were shot, and 10 of them were because of the cop.
Jesus.
As it turns out, New York policemen do not have good name. Fucking good aim.
The amount of fucking collateral New York cops cause.
Well, when you're part of the biggest gang in the United States, you can get away with it.
It's just the
Excuse you.
funniest
They're
shit
not the
ever.
biggest gang in the United States. How dare you how dare you trash the FBI like that?
No, you see, I'm pretty sure
No,
New
the
York
FBI is bigger.
cops
Oh, no,
outnumber
it's the FBI. No,
The
Yeah.
FBI is
clearly
way
you're
better.
No, the
No,
FBI is way
it's
better.
not even like a fucking. It's not even competition. How do you know someone's FBI? They'll tell you.
Well, I thought the answer was they were
The
wearing
FBI are like
khakis
and,
vegans.
khakis and a polo shirt. That's how you can.
No, it's literally every joke about the FBI ever, every fucking comic you'll ever see about the FBI. It's like these are how the various departments of intelligence handle a problem, and in every single panel, the FBI is just like, "I'm the FBI. I'm the FBI." They will tell you. They're like vegans. A vegan FBI agent is truly a terrible force to behold.
Sir, I believe our FBI agents keep getting killed in the field. Why? They keep revealing themselves to the enemy.
I mean, you say that, but at the same time, it's like the latest FBI sting plot. 9 FBI agents arrested by the 9 other FBI agents.
What
One
the fuck do
person
you mean
arrested.
We're killing our own men.
later released on all charges due to the fact that the judge considered the fact that 9 of the 10 conspiracy members were FBI agents.
I can imagine that was a very fun time in the fucking workroom.
The judge dismissed charges completely, all charges completely, because he was just like, you guys are not going to be able to argue that this was not a honey trap plot when 90% of the people involved in it were working for the FBI.
Everyone was a fucking fan.
Let me get this straight, you fucking idiots. Is every single one of you an FBI agent? Maybe.
Oh god, that still reminds me of the guys down in Texas.
I am an FBI agent. Is anyone here not an FBI agent? Meow.
There was a pair of people down in Texas, I think this was like back in like maybe 2014, 2016, who knew about the FBI's penchant for funding people who are going to commit terrorism. So they they went onto a forum and started posting back and forth publicly about how they had a plan to take over Texas and put back in power the rightful people.
Oh no.
How will that go?
Then their plan was they were going to buy horses and storm the town center of Austin, and that would somehow magically make them kings of Texas. And the FBI sent them $300,000 and like guns and armor and shit. And they just sold all the guns and armor and walked off with the money.
Did the feds pursue them for the money?
They tried to, but they couldn't. They got arrested like a couple years later by the IRS finally for not filing their taxes correctly.
Remember, folks, the most dangerous arm of the U.S. government is not the FBI. It is not the CIA.
It's the fucking IRS. It's the branch of the government that caught Al Capone.
Isn't the IRS not even a branch of the government?
No, they are. It's the Fed that's not a branch of the government.
Right. That's what it is. Right. Yeah.
The Federal Reserve Bank, despite having the name federal in its name, is actually a private entity, a private bank.
Right. That's what it was. But yeah. So that's yeah, but that was funny as fuck. They were so fucking butthurt over being taken for a ride, and it's like, my dude, they told you they were gonna buy horses, charge into the town center of Austin, and that they had zero plan beyond that. Beyond that, it would magically make them kings of Texas. How the fuck did you believe them?
I question how the fuck they thought that, like, how this was going to affect an agenda. It was like, why are we doing this? To make people
because
look...
people are just that stupid.
Average FBI agent.
The overwhelming urge to fund an insurrection takes hold of them. It's how it is. You know, it's the critical weak point of any FBI agent, honestly.
Well, you see, the FBI are CIA rejects. They're the ones who come up with the stupid plans and throw money at it, as opposed to, you know, the CIA who overthrow countries.
That is patently false. The CIA has come up with dozens of stupid plans. Like that time they took people and disappeared them and then taught them how to be CIA agents, and then, you know, kind of lost them because they were really good at being sneaky. And
how the fuck do you
eventually
lose FBI agents?
Well, you know, it just turned it.
Born supremacy.
No, so basically what happened was they took a bunch of people and they were going to train them to blend into any environment in a urban setting, so they could then sneak into various places of business and stuff like that. This was during the Cold War. And they would then infiltrate these places of business and make sure that no one was talking about unionizing, no one was talking about going commie, etc., right?
Yes, the age of the secondary Pinkertons.
Yeah. And the problem is that all of the people they picked were really good at their job. And so they decided that actually making a cult would just be way more fun. And so they created a cult where they would kidnap children and hold rituals with them in the sewers of Washington, D.C.
I'm sorry, did you just devolve into the Finders?
Yes, that's what I was talking about the whole time.
You're kidding.
Yes.
That's where that you are kidding.
No, the Finders
I
is
don't think
literally
he
a real
is.
thing, and it is that's how it happened. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was a real thing that happened. There was also the time that a local military base accidentally had one of their testing environments go awry, and the local town spotted the prototype, I believe it was a jetpack that was being tested at the local military base. And the CIA's brilliant idea was two birds, one stone. What was the first stone, you might ask? The first stone was obviously convincing everyone that the guy in a jetpack was secretly an alien space moth. The second thing, the second stone was what happens when we dose an entire town by poisoning their water supply with LSD.
Oh Jesus.
Funny things, of course.
Yeah, that sounds like
The
CIA.
answer is that everyone believes that the guy in a jetpack was actually a giant moth from space.
Nice.
Things that actually happened.
Yeah.
Average FBI honeypot.
Counter intel program. Yeah, the FBI has a competency crisis, a pretty major one. Yeah. The other such things that the CIA had a brilliant idea of doing was finding a bunch of communists, dosing them up on, again, I believe LSD. They've really, really liked LSD.
Don't
Yeah.
forget the dolphin.
They
Didn't they try
dosed.
to
Dolphins.
weaponize otters?
No, that was a scientist, not
No,
of the
they
CIA.
weaponized dolphins.
No, I'm sorry. The CIA provided the LSD in order to help unlock the dolphin's
Yeah.
true powers.
Psychic
Um,
potential.
Yes.
I will
You have to
say it-
understand that the CIA was very much into psychic powers for some fucking reason. Probably
Well,
is
yeah.
the money laundering scene.
No, okay, no.
That
Well,
more or less,
yes, but you got to remember a lot of this goes way back. Okay, like this is something that people tend to forget and try to pretend didn't happen. Remember, there was a very real part of World War II where people were trying to find mystical artifacts to change the tide of the war.
Yes.
Okay, hold on a minute. That whole
Yes.
Nazi
Very
occultism,
specifically, the
The
Nazis.
Fool Society.
the fucking secret societies Nazis were fucking half baked, even for the Nazis themselves.
Yes,
Like,
they
no
were very
shit,
half.
they're
Okay, so
half-baked.
specifically,
Footnote,
yeah. So
it
the thing is,
existed.
yes, with the
Yes,
Fool
they existed.
Society, the specific thing is they operated without Hitler's knowledge. They
No,
basically
he
No,
knew.
no, he
Right,
did not know.
He told them form a group to do this, and see if you can find anything, and then basically just
No,
let them do their own thing.
no. So what the documents actually showed is that effectively one of Hitler's friends, aka trusted generals, came to him and said, "Hey Hitler, I have a totally great idea. All I need is no questions asked, a shitload of money, some wine, and virgins. And I have an idea about that could win the war for us, and we might find the spear of Jesus Christ." And Hitler was like, "Well, we're losing the war, so fuck it. Sure."
Didn't
Uh,
they actually find like was it the Lance of Longinus or was it the Shroud of Turin or some shit? They actually found some shit that later.
Oh no, they actually did
went
find
to the
some relics.
Catholics.
Yes, they got looted, by the way. The relics got looted from the castle when we invaded it.
Yes.
A few of them did, but they also turned over a lot of them to the Catholic Church because, they were working with the Catholic Church at the time. They were on
Yeah.
really good terms with the Catholics.
But yeah, so basically, well, the reason why I say Hitler was definitely not really aware was because castle had private areas that were hidden that so the castle that was in use had markings on it, markings on the floor, markings on the ceiling, markings on the columns and whatnot. That was about the Thule Society, with the Black Sun and all that fun stuff. But the really weird shit, the torture dungeons with drainage pipes and that stuff, that was not easily accessed or in plain view. You had to, like, find like false walls and shit to get to them in the castle.
Oh.
So, considering the fact that the only people that we were allowed to go to the castle was the Thule Society, there was really only one person I can imagine they were trying to hide that sort of stuff from.
From Adolf himself.
Yeah. Because, if everyone's in on the whole torture dungeon thing, except the one guy who's not part of the Thule Society, who has permission to visit the Thule Society because he's the guy funding the Thule Society.
Gotta hide it from him.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Which general was it? Do you know?
I think
Oh,
it was
fuck
fucking.
Christ. It was the inbred one, wasn't it?
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
I'm aware after I
Actually, a
said that,
lot.
yes. Not Wilhelm. Was it Wilhelm? No, I don't think it was Wilhelm.
I think Himmler was involved at some point, wasn't he?
Himmler!
No, he wasn't a
Was it
general.
Himmler?
He was just his fucking, like,
No, it was
logistics guy.
Rudolf von Sabotendorf?
Sure.
Hold on. Thule
I
Society.
love how uncertain you are.
To be
Look,
fair, German names.
Someone's name.
Yeah,
you
that-
pronounce
that-
that.
Sabotendorf, yeah, that's fair. Oh, yeah, Operation
Oh, no,
Northwood.
so it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was not the Thule Society. It was the Schutzstaffel.
The Schutzstaffel?
It was the SS. The SS absorbed the Thule
Gesundheit?
Society.
Yeah, the
that's
SS turned into the
Schutzstaffel.
Thule Society, yeah.
Yep. And Himmler was the leader of the movement, and he appointed everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, but the crazy guy is Sabotendorf. Oh wait, no, hang on.
Yeah, other things the CIA did. There was the time that the CIA found a bunch of communists, dosed them up with LSD, made them famous, and then well, not famous, but movers and shakers important, and then
Why are we talking about the
encouraged them.
Beatles?
No, I was talking about Helter Skelter.
Yeah, I know.
Ah,
The Beatles is the
Yeah.
funnier joke.
That too, but the Beatles would be more of an MI6, espionage thing than the CIA.
weren't they?
I have no idea. Maybe they were. I know the Monkees were an attempt at copying them by the Americans, I believe.
No, the
I believe
monkeys are British.
The Monkees are British too? I thought they were an American copy. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that they were American. I'm saying they were the Americans tried to copy the Beatles by hiring British people to be the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Thule Society, yeah. They got up to some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, we're the German Order. Oh, how do you say that in German? German Orden. Yeah, Comic 7 dropped. But anyway, yeah, back to this absolutely garbage worm story.
It's a worm story. They're all like this.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, you're not wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Justice, Emma was traitor, and Blackwell bad. They
Blah,
just
blah,
didn't
blah.
have a case. That I'm sorry, what? Conveniently, there was no camera footage, so the police dropped the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
not how that works. At all.
Like I said, normal worm fic.
Yeah, average worm fic. I don't know. Tell me you've never seen the police do their job without telling me you've never seen the police do their job.
I mean, in fairness, police stop like what, 5%? Like they solve. I'm sorry, I should say they solve like 5% of crimes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. However, the police don't have remit to drop charges unless they believe they are outlandish.
Yeah.
And, I'm sorry, but a girl ending up in a coma,
Is not outlandish.
not exactly, grounds for dropping charges. You can't
Yeah,
really
that
be
ain't
like,
good.
oh, she did this to herself. You know, she stuffed herself and locked herself in a locker that she filled herself, with stuff that we've never seen her carry or do anything with before right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, she gave herself a coma to frame the school for negligence. Okay. Yeah. Okay, buddy.
Sure.
No,
I mean,
like,
listen, if that's the case, I respect the hustle. The hustle.
No.
The Huffle. I thought I was the one drinking here.
I mean, I was laughing at what Aura posted in gaming, so.
Hmm? No, there's that.
Part of the
That
comment.
Australian took our plane. Anything that's not nailed down, yes, it's in their DNA, I believe.
Little did anyone know, Australians are in fact all descended from D&D adventurers.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, right? Quite literally, cops and robbers.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I'm always the robber.
It's really tough in Australia playing cops and robbers because you have like cop and then robber, 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 robber,
That guy's
robber,
supposed to be a
robber.
Hang on, Sneaky.
Yep.
Sneaky, you forgot the most dangerous of them all. Emu.
Guy who's supposed.
Robber.
Yeah, that's right. Of course,
No,
emu.
there's also
Emu.
guy who's cop but is also robber.
Yeah, the cop is
Excuse
also
you.
a robber.
Excuse you. That's called a Chicago police officer.
Excuse
was a New
you,
York
that's
police
legally obtained shakedown money?
A Jersey police officer.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, I just want to take a moment. You know, so there's all these weird drones that are flying over New Jersey, and people
Don't
are
worry
talking
about it.
about how
Don't
they're
worry.
threatening to nuke New Jersey. And I said, now
would
you see,
improve it.
that's ridiculous.
Just throw a beer bottle at it.
If you were going to nuke a city in the United States, you would nuke one that's not already a shithole.
It wouldn't
California.
work, by the way.
Yes, we know all New Jerseyans are cockroaches.
Oh, no, I was saying the nuke would never reach New Jersey, because here's the thing, right? In New Jersey, we have like 19 different experimental testing facilities for different companies, major HQs. We're like the Eastern Seaboard testing facility for Lockheed Martin and that other one, that other military contractor, Palantir? Raytheon, yeah, Palantir, Raytheon's here. Major testing bed for the naval sciences is here as well. Aerospace testing happens here. We have so many countermeasures to missiles literally built into the ground of this state, that I honestly, I think you could shoot every fucking remaining nuke in Russia at New Jersey, and none of them would land.
Well, they're not talking about shooting an ICBM at New Jersey. They're talking about bringing a dirty bomb in, which
I'm
supposedly one of
I'm
the
aware.
theories was that they were sniffing for stolen nuclear material that didn't make it to a nuclear facility in Jersey.
Yes, the 3 Mile Island is right next to me. It's where actually I get all my nuclear power. It makes energy
Whoa.
so cheap. It's great. Just ignore the fact that we almost had a Chernobyl incident back in the 90s, but it's all good.
Don't worry
It's
about
still,
it.
It's still working. That reactor's still producing power, just lower rate.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, no, I would believe that. Honestly, however, I more believe the fact that because again, you have to keep in mind this is a testing site,
Mm.
and we've never seen drones sniff for nuclear material before. So putting two and two together is the
Fish.
drones were released to test their ability to sniff for nuclear material.
That was another one of the big theories, is that they're just testing a drone swarm to detect something.
Yeah.
Probably nuclear material.
I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, it'd be pretty average. I mean, back in the day when I was near the Lockheed Martin facility, they were testing naval radar all the time. Like, all the time. Didn't tell anyone either. Like, it was just like everyone in the area knew they weren't supposed to go outside when the poles started lighting up red. Because
I'm sorry,
effectively.
what?
Yeah, so basically they placed these giant metal poles in a bunch of places, and at the top of the pole it would glow red if the radar reached that, because like they were testing like ranges and shit like that, precision and stuff, and so everyone in the area knew that if the pole glows red, you're not supposed to be outside. Because that entire area was getting absolutely bathed in fucking radiation.
Well, that's terrifying.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Like I said, it takes a lot to face someone from New Jersey. Between the mob and all of the experimental weapons testing, it's just like, oh, okay. And also, can't forget all the mythology here as well. Disappearing towns and all that.
Uh-huh.
Your towns didn't disappear. They just got sick of being in New Jersey and fucked off to somewhere else.
That's an ongoing theory.
Okay, towns don't just get up and walk away for no reason. They get up and walk away because they're in New Jersey.
More or less,
Roanoke.
practically. Well, it's really funny because there was actually a case where there was on a bunch of trader maps a record of this town existing in this one spot in the Pine Barren Forest. And then 6 months later, a bunch of traders were heading out there to do, their normal route. And they all arrived at that location, and there was no evidence a town ever existed there. And everyone was checking their maps, like, we all got the right spot, right? Like, this is the town that existed here, right? And there was no record of it ever existing. Except, it appears on a whole shit ton of traders' maps that were personally drawn by those traders.
It appeared to them in a dream.
So, yeah, it's just, town just vaporized. It just does that.
Yeah, they just do that sometimes.
Yeah, let's do that sometimes. And then my other favorite was that there was one time that traders were taking a shortcut through the Pine Barrens, and they stumbled upon a town that no one had any records of ever existing. It was also dead. The entire town was dead.
Yeah.
And eyewitness accounts from trader diaries was that they investigated the town and quickly left the town when they found that there was still plates out on dining tables and whatnot. As if everyone had just left in the middle of their meal.
Nope.
Town-wide prank.
And yeah, that's the reaction the traders had of, yeah, we're just gonna keep going.
What did we
Stop
just
here
have?
tonight.
And then the best part of the whole thing is that when these traders got back to like the next town, and they're like, "What the fuck's up with that town over there? It's completely abandoned." And everyone was like, "What the fuck are you talking about with town over there?" And then they went back, and the town was no longer abandoned. It was now a ruin, and completely like collapsed. Like there was only like ruins and parts of homes still standing. And the traders were like, "What the we were just here. It was like a full-on town." You know, just
Town-wide prank.
normal
It's just
New
a joke.
Jersey things. Yeah, it's just a prank.
Just a joke.
Yeah, normal New Jersey things. Don't worry about it.
Standard
It's also
Jersey things.
yeah. Cool. She apologized. Nevertheless, she continued on her day. She made sure to keep her dad as he apologized for neglecting her. She accepted it all, but it was too late. She was
It was
done with
too
her
late,
father.
father. I have already developed hatred in my soul. Anyway,
Taylor couldn't go to sleep because there was a screen in front of her. It was a thing that had floated there since she woke up from her coma. She already confirmed that she wasn't a parahuman because Panacea tested her and told her that she wasn't. But she couldn't get over the
yes.
fact that this invisible
Panacea.
game screen was just floating in front of her, asking her if she wanted to enter the Eternal Dungeon. The options, yes or yes.
Eternal Dungeon.
Yes.
How about no?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, man. If your options are enter dungeon, yes or yes, I don't know, man. I feel like that's
You know what my answer is?
yeah.
You can't make me click that.
Yeah.
Ignore it. Alternately, it just gives you a timer and says, you will enter the dungeon in X seconds unless you choose an option.
Yeah.
If you don't choose an option, you'll be teleported to the X floor.
Ah, yes.
The 10d6 X floor.
All right, so
Listen.
apparently, all right, where's
Like
the Brazilian? Because apparently you got someone speaking Portuguese asking for you to follow, and he wants to get 10 followers, and he's about
Huh?
in your
I
What
see.
you talking about?
He
I-
must be.
viewers
He
I
must.
don't see.
He must
I don't
perish.
see anyone with this shit.
endless_PT.
Yeah,
Who
see him.
cares?
Oh,
Fair enough.
Harley Quinn's silent.
Oh
But
God! Oh God!
deadly.
Oh God! You
What?
just.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Oh, you just inflicted psychic damage on me because I was just forced to recall there's a new Harley Quinn comic coming out.
Don't. That's in the Cursed Media of Science fucking
Is-
server as well.
Is it a comic where she farts a bunch and eats a bunch of beans?
Yes, Harley
Yes.
Quinn fart themed comic. It's no longer.
Did you guys
barely the
know that
Spice
it's a
Fetish.
scratch and sniff?
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
I knew it. I knew I had the most terrifying piece of information.
This fine
You're
publication is a celebration of all things past, pre-scented, and tutures. It's an epic expulsion of 32 years.
Mm.
The annals of history is about to change with the release of Harley Quinn's Fartacular.
No,
What?
no,
No.
read it properly, Sneaky. It's the Harley Quinn fartacular, silent but deadly.
How about
A
no?
comic that promises to have the highest concentration of gas per page.
How about no?
Everyone is getting thrown into Dr. Fartley's home for no good gassy guys and girls. Well, I hope they get thrown into a wood chipper instead. Read this comic that Abraham Lincoln called a joy from fart to finish. Warning, we aren't kidding. If you don't like farting, this comic isn't for you. I'm judging you.
We're judging you as well.
Oh, we're well past the judgment stage.
No, is this the fart guy? No, there's no way this is the fart guy. No, there's no
think
way this is
It's
the fart
somebody who
guy.
shares the fart guy's interest.
Okay, well, sharing the fart guy's interest is like, unfortunately, 1 in a million people, so that's a lot of people, okay?
At least 300 people in the United States.
Unfortunately.
Mm.
I might send some snippets of moments I imagined happening in Taylor and Hell difficulty next week. Don't like, don't read. True.
It's alright, I'm not gonna read.
4chan, stick this man's head in the microwave.
Mods,
Hmm
post his IP address.
I mean, that's nothing on current day internet.
Taylor went into the
Mods,
void
his
and
guts are
she was
history.
tired, and then the blue screen came back and asked her to pick her gamer gear. Okay, Taylor wasn't much of a gamer. That's Greg's position, and she doesn't want to be a gamer like him because he's a punk ass bitch.
Woo!
I mean, he is.
For someone that liked her, he was pretty much a coward, and she didn't need him, so she's gonna be a warrior because she doesn't want to be a gamer. A warrior is
Okay.
basic, straightforward, and plain, just like her. That's right,
That does
Taylor.
not
You're
describe Taylor.
basic, straightforward, and plain. That's definitely what you are.
Well, according to the canon, she isn't straight, so.
Taylor is so bent that she did a 180 and walked away.
Mm.
Wait, no, hang on. Stop. You're supposed to turn 360 degrees and walk away, goddammit.
No,
Wait,
she just
okay.
face the same direction. No, you moonwalk.
no,
No,
she just
according to canon.
overlapped into narcissism.
Of course. How can you
Damn,
not
Taylor
overlap if
doesn't
you
want to be a
stuck in?
gamer, but she's missing out on all the slurs. Yeah, well,
Mhm.
yeah.
It happens.
All the
I'm sure
gamer
she doesn't even.
words.
I'm sure Taylor's more the sort of person who would go slurs, but I'm pretty sure I pronounced them correctly.
No, that's Ruby.
No, I'm pretty sure Taylor, son of the Doc Walker, Danny Hebert.
Doc Walker, huh?
he is the alone. He is alone. The Doc Walker.
That's her.
I am the
her
one who
mother's-
walks the dock.
Her mother's the Doc Walker. Her father's the Doc Worker.
Oh, ooh,
Oh,
you're gonna get Danny Herbert to fucking
Damn.
clean your clock there, brother.
Bro.
Danny Herbert? You mean Danny Haybear?
Hey,
uh,
jeez, Greg.
hey.
Oh, God. Anyway, so she's now resting on the cool, refreshing plain with the sea breeze. Something long, thick, and rock hard broke her sight. It was a sword. Fortunately, she didn't cut herself on the sword. Why was there a sword?
Watch out, don't cut yourself on that edge.
She picks warrior. doesn't realize that a sword is a weapon. That's
Knows what a warrior is.
knows what a warrior is. Doesn't know what a sword is. Apparently, that's it's pretty impressive. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
She's usually on
So
the palm of his
cute.
hand.
She looks at the white fluffy rabbit. She is a girl, and she is like cute things because she is a girl. Not to mention, it's her first time seeing a rabbit. It's also her first time touching one. There's definitely therapy in this power. Having a cute bunny for therapy sounds pretty good. Taylor continues to pet the fluffy bunny, and she never saw it coming when it ripped open her throat.
Ah, rabbit of Carbonog.
You have been slain by the
Rip
rabbit.
dog.
Taylor blinked as she once again found herself in the void. The feeling of phantom pain echoed as she felt her throat being ripped open by the rabbit. She was very confused. Okay, let's be clear here. Again, I hate this shit. It's like, yeah, I realize the whole Hollywood shit and people are retarded in general. Rabbits are not overly friendly creatures. They can be.
But they're not.
No, but they're
But
not
those-
aggressive. They're skittish. They run away.
Well, not just skittish. Those fuckers will bite, and if they bite you, you are going to be losing something.
Oh yeah, okay,
Those big
but only
fucking
if you
buck teeth
corner
are
them.
for lots of things other than nibbling your goddamn carrot.
Also, the teeth aren't what you got to worry about. It's the claws on the hind legs.
That too. Yeah, the good
They
old
will
thumper.
gut you.
Yeah. Good
Like
old
that,
thumper
like
Rooney.
cats. That is, it's their default defense is to grab and kick and gut something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole claw thing is so, they can rip the dirt real well.
Mhm.
Featuring Contessa as Big Boss and Number Man as Ocelot.
God damn it!
Oh. Who's quiet?
Damn, it's almost wait, that was this year, wasn't
Panacea.
it? Where people could make the joke about it being 8 years?
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Was
was
it
this
this
year.
year?
Yeah, that was this year.
It's been 8 years. Just waiting, didn't I?
Patriots.
They're guns. I've got to have them.
Run 2. She found herself in the Eternal Plains again, still confused about what happened. This time, she immediately secured the sword for her safety in an unconscious move of self-preservation. Then she saw the rabbit that killed her, still covered in her blood. Taylor blanched. Nice bunny. The rabbit then pounced on her, and then ripped out her throat again. Okay, so
Ooh.
you got killed by something called a rabid rabbit.
Oh.
Obviously, it's not nice.
Rabid rabbit. So you were killed by an animal
With
that is
rage.
being rage induced right now. You being like, oh, tee hee, we're all friends here, right, rabbit? At least swing at it. At least shout at it. Like, come on. Taylor's
Even make this
eyes.
bigger.
Taylor's eyes twitched in restrained anger as she raised her sword at the devil.
Oh.
She doesn't
Did you
know
guys see
why the rabbit killed her twice. Because it's
You see, the rabbit sensed the
rabid.
bitch in your heart.
Yeah, true.
Did you guys see SDM Politics and News? The
Oh,
one who drove
well,
a car full speed into the Christmas market apparently actually looks like Sam Hyde.
No.
the memes had to converge eventually. This
Oh.
Taylor sounds as stupid as Canon Taylor. You know what? You might be right.
It's not a Taylor in name only. Hey, that's an improvement.
Yeah. but
As much of as it can be.
and she raised her. She didn't know how or why, but this damn rabbit killed her twice when she somehow came back from the dead. Okay, so again, this is the thing here. This is why sentence structure is very important. What you're saying, she doesn't know. She doesn't know how or why, but the damn rabbit killed her twice. That is what the how or why is about. She doesn't know how the rabbit killed her or why the rabbit killed her. The append statement to the sentence when she came back from the dead isn't part of the statement of she doesn't know how or why. Which means that she knows how she resurrected from the dead, but she doesn't know how a rabbit killed her by ripping her throat out. Which either means she is incredibly retarded, or you are.
Now, Sneaky,
Yes.
be fair. Could be
Yes.
both.
True. Is this her power? Then she takes everything back about
Her
this
power
being
is
a
dying
therapy
to
session.
a rabbit.
Her
Mhm.
power is being immortal. But also, again, due
Dying
to
to a
the
rabbit.
sentence structure, she is implying that her power is dying to a rabid rabbit. Because sentence structure is very important. Because right now, she wants blood. Okay, not blood. She has never killed anything in her life, even if it's something insignificant as an insect. The thought of killing something makes her sick, of course, because you're an urbanite and you can't concept the idea of survival, especially against a person, even if it was Emma. What does this have to do with killing a rabbit?
Nothing.
That's really coming out of left field here.
I've never killed a person, even if it was Emma. Okay, but we're talking about killing rabbits here. It's really odd that you immediately brought up Emma. Saying. Unfortunately, this rabbit pushed her to make an exception to killing things.
Exception.
So, the rabbit, after ripping your throat out twice, finally made you decide
Violence
kill
was
something.
okay.
As an exception. Interesting.
Mhm.
Who's dropping in
Okay.
and out?
No idea.
I
Sign
don't
left.
know.
Grey and Sign left. Both left.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep.
Grey's going to sleep and Sign's about to pass out.
Yep.
And
That's
then he
about
switch cases.
expected, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll close up soon. Come back here. I want to see Taylor finally kill a rabbit. Come back here, she roared as she chased after the rabbit, waving the sword around. Unfortunately, it was very fast and dodged her. This frustrated her more. Then she felt a shiver down her spine. Now there was two of them. And then more rabbit ears popped out of the grass. Motherfucker! She was lured like a bass to a fisherman's boat.
What?
Being bitten to death was a nasty experience. Run 7. Class change. Rogue run. Taylor screamed hysterically as she ran away from the horde. Why did she think trading her sword in for daggers was a good idea? Run 14. Fighter run. A rabbit went flying as Taylor punted it. As for the girl herself, she is currently using a rabbit like a nunchuck as she starts to beat the rabbit horde to death.
What the
The
fuck
poor
is this
thing.
NPC?
I meant Taylor, not the rabbit. Run 20. Burn, ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Taylor cackled as she was wearing a wide-brimmed witch hat akin to a witch as the entire field was set on fire after she threw fireballs. This is real therapy. The fire was just a bonus. And then something caught her eye. Is that rabbit wielding a bow and arrow? And then that killed her.
How do you wield a bow and arrow with fucking paws?
Skillfully.
With great alacrity, I suppose. Run 46. The sound of swords striking each other rung out across the eternal plains. One person was a teenager, with her glasses missing, holding a serviceable sword. Facing her was a rabbit in full knight armor, wielding a broadsword. What? Until a fireball exploded both of them. A sheepish-looking rabbit in a wizard's hat hopped away.
This is dog
This is
shit.
incredibly stupid.
Yes.
Yes. Taylor was at run 69 now, and she was getting a feel for her powers finally. It was a game, a repetition game, that involves her dying to everything until she completes her task. Although she had the option to quit, she found out after repeated deaths that Taylor won't quit.
He won't quit because her name's Taylor.
My
Okay.
name's Taylor Schlibbert, and I don't
The task was the complete annihilation of the rabbit species. She used up all the classes she could in the starting point and began to optimize her runs per death. Currently, the warrior has the best chance of beating the rabbit horde. With her height advantage and sword reach, cutting down rabbits is child's play. The only problem is when the bosses or elite rabbits show up. Yeah, sure.
The elite rabbit, huh?
Yeah, the warrior rabbit in full plate mail. The rogue rabbit that would stab her from behind with daggers. And the archer rabbit with a bow, and the wizard rabbit that shoots fireballs.
Fireball.
The last one killed her
Fireball.
because of how many times it shot her with fireballs. Slowly, she was getting better at using a sword, at least enough to challenge the boss. Okay. Alright, so she's trying to fight the rabbit boss, and then she's clashing, and she's trying to come up with a plan, and clashing, and she manages to nearly kill all 4 of the general elite rabbits, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And then the rabbit stabbed her in the leg with its sword, and then she punted it. The wizard rabbit was charging up a nuclear explosion, so she cut its head off.
All right.
Very impressive that the rabbit can use a nuclear explosion.
Yes, Taylor started laughing her ass off after this because she was alive. She won. She beat the rabbits. She even killed the first rabbit, which she named Emma. Okay. Eternal Fields has been cleared. Please pick your award. Upgrade a current class or acquire a second class. That's not even a question. Dual class. Always dual class.
A magical warrior is always going to be like stronger than a pure warrior.
Like, it doesn't even matter if you get upgraded to like knight or some shit. The ability to be a warrior while still casting fireball is crazy good.
Yeah. Because I cast fireball while also casting go fuck yourself.
Also, the other important thing here is you don't, because like you can actually do a very simple Occam's razor here. You don't know if you're ever going to be offered a second class reward again.
But you'll always level up in your current class.
But you can make the assumption that you'll always be able to upgrade a class in some manner, right? So like beat the next level, maybe it's just upgrade the class you're currently using. Maybe it's upgrade a melee class. Maybe you get some other variant of the upgrade option, but you're more than likely going to get another upgrade option. But being that a second class is sort of a one and done option, like you'll never be able to pick it again because obviously you can't take a second class twice, because then you would have a third class, which then it wouldn't be called second class. So maybe theoretically you could have an option next time around that shows up that says pick a third class. Still pick that, because I'm sorry, now I'm a rogue warrior mage. Like, the more you can stack the access to abilities, the better it gets than upgrading any single class at any point in time. And the only way that that is wrong is if you are in a scenario, because obviously you would have to first find out what all the classes are. So you would only be wrong by the time it doesn't matter anymore. But in this case, the only time you would be wrong in having more classes is better than having better classes is in a case where it's like magical transportation, and like you know, it's a case of how to put this. You know what? I'm not. Why am I even bothering trying to fucking? You're just stupid if you don't take a second class. You're just stupid. So she, of course, in true fashion, she doesn't take the second class. She takes the upgrade. So she's gonna upgrade probably warrior, I think. What?
That's stupid, but go on.
The warrior class has cemented itself as being the good fighting class. Okay, so she took the upgrade. In her mind, it's better to focus on an upgrade in mastering swordplay than getting a second class to split her focus with.
Fuck that.
That's stupid, and you're stupid.
Choose the class that's most fun, which he told us was Fireball with Wizard.
Yeah, obviously you upgrade Wizard. Always upgrade Wizard, because eventually you will get to the point where upgraded Wizard cannot be upgraded any further, and you're like at Arch Giga Mage status of cast Rule 9 Fireball.
Well, no, it's not even that. She's apparently immortal. You don't have to fucking min-max. You just have to have the most fun.
Well, I mean, yes, you're not wrong, but at the same time, you're not right. And I say that specifically because we don't know what's going on with her right now.
Well, we don't know in
but
the real world if she's immortal, but come on, at least in that world, you'd choose
right,
mage.
yeah, it's just smart. But anyway, so she's going for a class upgrade, and it's very generous that it gives her a option to pick the same class that she wants to upgrade. Again, I don't know why, but okay. So the warrior can upgrade to warrior, knight, lancer, barbarian, soldier, samurai, or hero. She didn't like the hero class, so she ignored it. She wouldn't be a hero anymore. She would be better. Mm-hmm. Yep, totally.
Sorry,
So
I had
anyway,
a call from my dad.
weeks later, she decides stuff or something. I don't know. Weeks later, girls, check it out. Taylor's here. Didn't know, blah blah blah. Masochist, blah blah blah. You know, blah blah blah. Girl was too weak. Slowly, they crept up to her. Blah blah blah. Reaching unsuspecting teen Taylor. Sophia reached out to turn her around. Sophia felt pain, bewildered. She can only feel her head pounding and a massive headache as her forehead is pressed against the locker, not to mention her arm being stretched and locked in an awkward angle. Oh, sorry. Herbert. Oh, wait. He spelled it Herbert here.
Ah, hey Bert.
I didn't realize she picked. No, I'm not gonna say that one.
Wait, what? Let me read
No,
off stream.
yeah, don't worry. You know
No.
what it is. You know what it is.
No,
Herbert's
reading it.
meek voice reached her ears as Sophia looked behind her and realized what happened.
Mm.
Uh, let's see here. Taylor smashed her forehead on the locker and had her in an arm lock. So Sophia growled at her. Taylor must have heard it as she immediately released the growling teen. It ignited her anger as she looked at Taylor, disinterested. She was looking down on her, Sophia Hess, being looked down on by prey.
Grr.
Grr. I'm
Grr.
thinking sexy thoughts right now. Grr.
Hey!
I like your smell. Grr.
You must perish.
Many such cases.
You bitch. Sorry. She still wasn't looking at Sophia. Sophia hated it. Don't fuck with me, and tried to punch Taylor. The sound of bone crunching filled the hallway as everyone turned immediately to watch the fight. Emma and Madison giddily watched the confrontation, wanting to see the taller teen be ground down by Sophia. Sophia smirked. Weak little Taylor couldn't even dodge, her fist planting on her lower jaw, forcing her head sideways. Then Sophia felt pain. Sophia looked down at her broken fingers, eyes wide open, not believing what she was seeing. Emma, so I want to be clear here. What the author's probably going to pull some shit about, oh, blah, 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 brute rating or some shit. But no, this is a thing that can genuinely happen. If you punch someone incorrectly, you will break your fingers.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is very painful. Don't do that.
Unfortunately, that's not what the author's going for.
Well,
No,
here's
yeah,
the
of
thing.
course,
Here's
obviously.
the most unrealistic thing. It's that a Bostonian doesn't know how to throw a punch by the age of 12.
True. Everyone gaped at her, holding her fingers with teary eyes. How? Taylor looked down at Sophia without examining her plight. You should probably get that looked at, and then walked away. At that moment, Sophia noticed something different. Taylor was standing straight, Not meek, not hunched over. Weak little Taylor was standing tall and ignoring everyone like they didn't matter. Not to mention, Taylor wasn't wearing her glasses anymore, and her hair was well done, and she was wearing good clothes. Also, Taylor's got a fat ass, and Sophia was interested.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Chapter end. Primary class night. Oh, she also, apparently, there is a tertiary class. Looks like I was correct. Eternal Plains was based on Don Machi. Current dungeon
see
progress.
how?
Trial of Enduring. The Knight's Realm. This story is going to be a slow burn because of the theme of the story. The theme of the story is Taylor healing through violence.
That's
not how that. No. No.
That's really not how that works, author.
No. I know I made the Bostonian joke, but no.
Yeah, so anyway, she's eventually gonna train hard enough that she'll be able to fight Leviathan.
What's the Leviathan stat sheet again?
Big.
Lady, you're gonna need to roll a wisdom save to even consider fighting this thing. Please roll it for me.
This isn't the typical main character who just knows things. This is a clueless girl who doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, I mean, I guess write what you know.
It's so funny, I forgot to laugh.
Indeed. All right, well, that was unfortunately an experience we subjected ourselves to. Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, people, boys and girls of all ages. I don't know why anyone under the age of 17 would be even watching us, but you know it's happened before, I suppose. Either way, we'll see you next time on Tuesday because there is always more, and it does always get worse.
Hey, who wants to play Left 4 Dead?